Flynn, got another 600 million order here. Can you squeeze it in? I just smile. You won't mind if I make a little profit, right? After all, making cash off clients is the only way to earn points. And points are exactly what upgrades my system. Stick with me here, just got the system, and I'm completely bored. Looking for work? I wander into a random livestream. Right on cue, former pro player Zeke is absolutely losing his mind. If this garbage computer didn't lag, I would have crushed Bayan. Desperate for a comeback, Zeke actually manages to lose 3 more games straight, while his chat laughs. After reading his custom PC order, I stay completely calm. Even though my Phase 1 system only has basic civilian crafting skills, it definitely includes next-level computer building tech. When Zeke sees my reply, his face just freezes. Instantly, the live chat starts going completely wild. A medical report? Why does this computer guy need my physical exam results? This makes zero sense. Since when do you need a health check to build a PC? Zeke gives his chat a smug look. Do you guys know anything at all? Now, this is what you call professional. I feed his biometric data right into my system, instantly getting the results. His optimal frame rate needs a CPU speed of 0.000058 milliseconds. In short, player command is officially received. The super lab is now activating. I glance at a literal junked PC in the corner. Its specs flash before my eyes, showing a dirt cheap price tag of $126. A $100,000 order minus that cost? That is pure profit. Hitting Phase 2 will be an absolute breeze. The lab is active. The current time ratio is set at 5:1. 5 days inside equals just 1 single day in the real world. I get 2 choices. Option 1. My entire physical body enters the super lab to work. I won't age in there at all. Option 2. Only my mind goes in, but my actual body ages normally. If this upgrades to a 100:1 ratio, I could spend a full year working inside, while only 4 days pass outside. Beyond hyped, I lock up the shop, grab that dusty junk PC, and step right into the super lab. Watch closely in here. I don't sleep or eat. My mind stays sharp and totally energized round the clock. 3 days later, the custom graphics card, motherboard, CPU, and hard drive are completely finished. Manufacturing score, a perfect 10. The memory stick was taking way too long, so I rushed it for a 9.9 score. It could have lasted 20 years. Now, it will last 10 years. I entered at 9 p.m. It is 11 a.m. Only 14 hours passed in reality. I shipped the beast to Zeke. By 6 p.m., thousands of excited viewers get the notification and flood straight into his live stream. Seeing the title, "The PC has arrived," the entire chat completely explodes with hype. No way it is that fast. Is this even legit? Built in 1 day? Let's just hope it actually works. After all, he dropped 100 grand on it. Rubbing his hands together, Zeke grins. Guys, let's witness this epic unboxing together. You and I both know this won't go smoothly. Zeke's face completely freezes, his eye twitching at the dusty metal case. Uncle Wan, I just got scammed out of 100 grand. No, I do not want a simple refund. I just need to know exactly how many years we can lock this shady shop owner behind bars. The viewers absolutely lose their minds. I cannot breathe. Let me laugh for 3 minutes straight. Raging Zeke is the best. Honestly, anyone would be furious. You couldn't even find this rusty garbage at a scrapyard. He should have gone to Froggy. Froggy charges 30 grand, keeping 28. This scammer charged 100,000 and pocketed 99. Now, at why he wanted a health report to check if Zeke could survive the shock. Zeke hangs up, jaw completely clenched. If I don't jail this guy, my name isn't Lou. Fighting back angry tears, he drags out his $100,000 piece of junk. This massive 100,000 scam catches the streaming platform's attention. They take it super seriously, sending official staff right into his chat to collect evidence. Now, Zeke just needs to benchmark the junk PC so investigators can see how badly he got played. Suddenly, he freezes completely. Wait, something is off. Did this piece of junk actually just boot up instantly? Not believing his eyes, he restarts it. Swallowing hard, Zeke stutters. Not 7 seconds, not 4.68 seconds. Did he read that right? 4.68 seconds. This trash can's boot speed just crushed every top-tier rig worldwide. The world record is 5 seconds, but fast booting doesn't mean power. I bet this shell is missing half its internal parts. That is why it boots so fast. It's literally just an empty shell. Yeah, right. So, what do you make of this? Zeke slams his desk in rage. My lawyer said 30 grand equals 3 years in jail. 100,000 gets 10. Each extra 10 grand scammed means 1 more year added to his prison sentence. Let's jump right in. Zeke checks chat. My gigabit internet line is incredibly fast. You and I are about to see pure magic. But wait, why does this benchmark software look so weird? Motherboard? Unknown. Graphics card? Unknown. Memory? Hard drive? Unknown too. How is everything unknown? This hardware doesn't match any known brand. Not even the cheap knockoffs. Did Flynn really scam him? Wait, look at these insane benchmark scores. CPU over 500,000. Graphics card hits over 360,000. Is this real life? I seriously thought the absolute highest benchmark score in the entire country was just a few million. Is the software totally glitching out? These numbers seem impossible. Zeke takes a deep breath and loads up League of Legends. There is only one real way to see if this computer is actually good. Time to test it. Zeke quickly finds a match. Wow! Guess who the enemy top laner is? It is Calvin from the Pro League. Calvin Chen. Grab your popcorn. Zeke might get totally wrecked. Calvin just returned from Worlds. Facing an absolute pro like him, Zeke is about to get completely wiped out. Zeke simply scoffs. So what? The only reason I ever lost before was my terrible PC. Forget about pro player Calvin Chen. Even if a legendary player appeared, it would not matter. Once the laning phase starts, the viewers are absolutely buzzing. His gameplay mechanics are incredibly smooth. Zeke goes all in. He would rather lose fighting than retreat under the tower, going for a bold level 1 strike against Calvin. Suddenly, he realizes his gameplay on this new rig is way above his usual skill tier. Now pay attention. Every attack feels absolutely perfect. Are you and I actually seeing this? Or is this a crazy dream? Zeke just solo defeated Calvin at level 1. This boss is insane. The legend has finally come out of retirement. Playing like this, winning worlds would be a total breeze. Suddenly, his phone rings. Uncle Wang, did you already file against Flynn? Wait, no. Flynn is honestly like a brother to me. I will explain everything later. Trust me, this PC is worth every penny of those 100 grand. Next, Zeke fires up a massive triple a game for a test. The crazy result? Those cooling fans do not even spin once. That means the processor is not even slightly stressed. Everyone fully expected this computer to finally hit its absolute limit. Turns out it barely broke a sweat. The chat totally explodes. This computer is genuinely mind-blowing. I was completely wrong about Flynn. You will forgive me, right? This guy is the real deal. Flynn is the absolute tech god of Long Kingdom. Waking up that afternoon, I check my online shop. The orders are absolutely skyrocketing like they are strapped to a rocket. I figured the custom rig I built would bring in some light traffic, but I never expected it to blow up this insanely fast. Looks like I no longer need to worry about earning enough upgrade points. A notification chimes. Congratulations, player. Major points earned. The system has officially upgraded to Phase 2. Class 1 civilian tech is now implanted into my brain. This includes air conditioners, cars, smartphones, and lots of other advanced modern manufacturing blueprints. But what really sparks my interest is Phase 3 military-grade tech. However, reaching that next massive tier requires 10 million points. You and I both know the math. 100,000 points daily still takes 100 days. Scrolling through the new system orders, I laugh. Come on, use some imagination. I do not just build high-end gaming computers. If you can dream it, I can craft it. Suddenly, a 500,000 order pops up. Meanwhile, Mia's stream chat completely explodes. People are buying computers, and you want a custom motorcycle? The chat mocks her. This old lady is totally clout chasing off his fame. Keep this up, and it will definitely backfire soon. Reading those mean chat comments, her cheerful face instantly darkens. Stop calling me an old lady. I am only 27. I genuinely love motorcycles, just not the boring mainstream ones sold everywhere. And you dare say I'm clout chasing? She snaps back. That guy is totally hilarious. Sure, his gaming rig is wildly powerful, but the design is super ugly. The outer case is so cheap, and he still refuses to spend a single dime on aesthetics. Checking out Mia's special order, it reads, "Dear Flynn, I need you to build a motorcycle. Everyone claims cornering speed is what matters, but I cannot corner at all. So, I just want something insanely fast in a straight line. Honestly, the faster the better. Also, I am a girl, so you absolutely must make it look gorgeous." Reading her bubbly message gives me weird goosebumps, and definitely not good ones. Since she is a young rider handling a massive bike, I decide to prioritize core stability first. Safety simply cannot be sacrificed for raw speed. I gather all needed materials. 12,000 points total. Staring at that cost genuinely hurts. 12 grand, completely gone. I quickly assemble the sleek motorcycle frame. The core engine and transmission definitely require some truly meticulous crafting. After all, those components completely dictate the actual speed. Designing that gorgeous exterior also takes major effort. 15 days later, it is finally done. Trust me, you are going to love this reveal. The gorgeous custom build triggers a system evaluation. Stick with me here. Our guy just scored a perfect 100. His motorcycle design and building skills? Total breakthrough level, 100,000 bonus points. Guess the system is pretty generous. In Phase 1, the lab time ratio was 5-to-1 compared to the real world outside. Phase 2 jumps to an insane 30-to-1. 15 lab days means half a day outside. He ships the finished bike to Mia. Look at her stream title. Flynn sent the new motorcycle already? No way. Under 24 hours. And Flynn finished her bike. Any mechanics in the chat? Is this speed even slightly normal? 10-year rider right here. Honestly, a bike built in a single day is absolutely going to be pure garbage. Called it yesterday, guys. She is totally getting scammed by Flynn, and here it is. Classic Flynn for sure. Total ripoff artist, completely off the charts. I wonder how much of that 500,000 he secretly kept. Remember when Flynn built Zeke that computer? I did the math. Beyond his impressive custom hardware, the other parts cost under 200. Bold prediction here. Out of 500,000, Flynn easily pockets 400,000. Way too low. Anything under 450,000 means Flynn loses his ultimate scammer crown. The chat comments flood in, wave after wave, totally unstoppable. Meanwhile, in her villa, Mia glares at the computer screen, face flushed with anger. What does my new motorcycle have to do with you all? As long as I like it, who cares? Good thing she stayed offline today. These haters are seriously annoying. Why can't I just enjoy unboxing my stuff in peace? Why must I listen to their loud opinions anyway? Fine, I will unbox it alone, and none of you get to see it. Breathing heavily, Mia fiercely rips open the giant cardboard box. Now pay attention here. The moment she looks inside, her eye starts violently twitching. Flynn, did you actually scam me here? I hate you. How? Is this exactly what those haters warned me about? Complete scammer. The bike sitting there definitely has a sleek, aerodynamic design, but calling it pretty? Not even close to true. Honestly, it looks like scraped up, rusted iron. Just as ugly as it gets. Mia almost bursts into tears, but her meltdown completely stops the exact second she hops onto the bike and turns the ignition key. Gas? Where is the gas? Flynn, you massive jerk, the biggest ripoff artist alive. 500,000, and you left the tank empty. Flynn, do not think I won't call the cops. If this bike's speed disappoints me, I am going straight to the police. But before calling the cops on him, she obviously needs to go buy some gasoline first. Meanwhile, on Tiger Shark, the live view count is practically rivaling Zeke's peak numbers. And obviously, everybody wants to see Mia's brand new bike. Oh, man, guys, guess what I just saw? I totally spotted her in person. Wait, you saw her? Hurry up and snap a picture. How does the new bike look? The chat absolutely explodes when Lone Wolf drops a message. With the whole crowd waiting anxiously, Lone Wolf finally sends another text a few seconds later. Looked closer, and she is just buying gasoline at the station all by herself. Honestly, do not see Flynn's motorcycle anywhere around here. Did she even drive here? I don't get it at all. Does she hoard premium gas as a hobby? You and I already figured this out, right? Lone Wolf is confused, but sharp viewers instantly connect the dots. Wait, did Flynn seriously not put any gas in that tank? Yep, classic Flynn. The absolute ultimate scammer strikes again. Could not even spare $100 for gas. You can always count on Flynn. He never lets you down. So guessing he kept $450,000? Way too low. He probably pocketed closer to $470,000. The bike actually rides super comfortably, hitting 70 miles per hour. Mia approaches a bullet train station, wondering about speed. Being so remote, barely anyone comes here to catch trains. But the scenery is undeniably beautiful, so whenever she feels stressed, Mia just sits here alone. It genuinely helps her clear her head. Flynn, you absolute jerk. At least this quiet place cheers me up, or this insane injustice would completely break me. 15 minutes later, feeling much calmer, Mia stands up to leave. Suddenly, a panicked guy in his 20s runs up. Can I borrow your bike? Totally caught off guard by this wild request, Mia immediately raises her guard. Why do you need my bike? The guy stares at the train station behind him, absolute heartbreak flashing across his face. My girlfriend of 7 years just dumped me, but she said, if I catch her speeding bullet train, we still have a real chance. Please, let me try. If I damage it, I will sell everything to pay you. Trust me, you and I need to see what happens next. Stick with me here. The guy looks right at Mia with pure desperation. She is completely stunned. Wait, what? You want to chase down a bullet train on a bike? Do you realize how insanely fast they go? It is not about refusing to lend it, but how could you possibly catch it? Mia rides bullet trains constantly, so she knows exactly how terrifyingly fast those massive things really move. Easily over 300 kilometers per hour. No motorcycle matches that. And even if it magically could, a train and a bike operate so completely differently. Moments ago, Mia rode at 70 miles per hour. It already felt like her body flew forward, while her soul lagged far behind. If a bike actually hit train speeds, it would be a total disaster. Impossible. I just want to try. If I miss this amazing chance today, it is totally gone forever. Let 7 years of pure love burn bright one last time against the roaring wind. Right then, the young man's eyes fill with heavy tears. Mia freezes completely. She lacks real experience with romance, and she does not truly understand what 7 whole years of absolute devotion actually means. But right now, she is deeply moved by the emotional young man standing before her. She reaches out, dropping the motorcycle key into his hand. A gentle smile blooms on Mia's face. Good luck out there, mister. The guy takes the key and nods firmly. Just then, a massive gust of wind sweeps past them. The bullet train is pulling away. He turns to see it already hundreds of meters away. In a single blink, without hesitation, he completely fires up the heavy motorcycle. The very next second, a sonic boom tears the air apart. Mia's hair whips wildly around her face. Now watch this part closely. She sees her bike launch like an absolute rocket and freezes. Why does it look so incredibly different now? Mia stares blankly as her motorcycle shrinks rapidly into the distance, then turns toward the bullet train, which is totally in full speed mode. Her pupils constrict sharply. By her estimate, that train is flying at least 260 kilometers per hour, maybe even 300. But the young man on her motorcycle is visibly closing the massive gap right now. Every single passenger on that train witnessing this wild scene feels an electric chill shoot from their feet straight to the very top of their skulls. The sound of phones snapping out fills the entire train car. People immediately open their cameras to record this absolutely unbelievable and epic moment. Others rapidly text loved ones, sharing this wild sight. But at the exact same time, everyone is also feeling quite bewildered. Why would anyone ride a bike that fast? Does he have zero fear at all? The road is nearly empty, but at that insane speed, one tiny slip means game over. Wait, everyone look out the window right now. Just then, a loud gasp rings out. Everyone turns quickly. The motorcycle that overtook the train and vanished from their sight has totally reappeared. But this time, is parked still. And beside the bike, the young man is down on one knee, gazing toward the train with incredibly deep emotion. He is clearly holding something up. From this distance, nobody can quite make out what it is, but many guess it must be a ring. The train falls completely silent for a heartbeat, then erupts into total chaos. That guy was riding insanely fast. It was all to chase our train. You and I both feel this, right? He risked everything, pushing that bike to 400 miles per hour just for one girl. She is truly loved beyond any words. By one window, a gentle-looking girl watches the brave young man kneeling outside, and she finally breaks down into heavy tears. She covers her mouth, tears streaming down like a waterfall. Meanwhile, back at the station, Mia has absolutely no idea this is happening. After the young man named Derek speeds off on her motorcycle, Mia's eyes are completely filled with worry. She is not worried about Derek wrecking her precious motorcycle and failing to pay. She is terrified something terrible might happen to him. His takeoff speed was just way too incredibly fast. Now, both the huge train and Derek have totally vanished from sight. Of course, Mia is worried. Please be safe out there, or I will regret lending you my bike forever. But right then, the faint roar of an engine reaches her ears. She hears it, and immediately looks up toward the road. Seeing Derek riding back safely, Mia finally lets out a massive sigh of total relief. Once Derek pulls up and stops, Mia quickly tries to comfort him. It is totally okay if you missed it. At least you truly tried. No regrets, right, miss? Are you doubting my skills? Well, it is fair. This motorcycle's performance is absolutely unreal. Only someone with my amateur skills could possibly fail to catch a fast bullet train on this thing. But hey, I used to be a huge motorcycle enthusiast myself, Derek says, with a charming, confident grin. This time, Mia is the one completely stunned. The motorcycle's performance is so incredible that missing the bullet train is basically an impossible task. Wait, are you saying you actually caught it? Mia asks, her face a picture of pure disbelief. Derek nods happily. Then he turns back to look at the motorcycle, his eyes still full of wild, lingering shock. Trust me, you and I are gonna love this ending. To avoid regrets, he got on her bike, slammed the throttle hard, and completely ripped through every gear for love. Stick with me here. He was totally stunned finding that at this wild speed, the famous bullet train looked like an absolute snail. Over 600. And honestly, that is not even its peak limit, because I barely twisted the throttle at all. So please, miss, do not joke around with me. With this beast, catching a bullet train is nothing. Chasing an airplane would be no problem at all. Jenna just texted me. She is waiting for me at the next station. Miss, thank you. Thank you so incredibly much. Without you and this amazing bike, we might have truly lost each other forever. Derek tells Mia, his face showing absolute, pure gratitude. He checks the time and apologizes. I am so sorry, miss. I must hurry and catch the next train to meet up with Jenna. Giving Mia one last heartfelt thank you, Derek quickly dashes straight toward the station entrance. Little does he know, Mia misses every single word of his thanks. Hearing those crazy claims about Flynn and his machine, her brain just completely shuts down. She just stares blankly at the bike beside her, swallowing hard as her throat tightens. Forget bullet trains. This thing chases airplanes. Oh, Flynn, what kind of absolute monster machine did you build me? I'm sorry I yelled earlier, Flynn. You are no scammer. You are the most incredible builder worldwide. You skipped filling the fuel tank because the budget was tight, right? You have just been way too good to me. You never ripped me off. Right now, his image in her mind instantly shoots straight through the absolute roof. And looking at the machine parked right out front, Mia could not be any happier. Her previous disgust over its clunky design has completely vanished. A bike capable of reuniting lovers and saving a relationship? That is simply the most gorgeous machine in the entire world. 5 stars, Flynn. I'm giving you a perfect 10. Riding back home, Mia is absolutely beaming with joy. A total 180 from her earlier mood. Now pay attention. She has no clue. The jaw-dropping scene of that bike chasing a train just went completely viral online. The topic chasing a train on a bike for love shoots straight to #1 on the trending charts. Countless viewers are moved by this epic romance. Inside a Yanjing courtyard house, famous bike blogger Peyton faces her camera, playing the wild motorcycle versus train video for her shocked audience. I do not know if you guys caught the details, but the entire clip is only 9 seconds long, and in those short seconds, the bike passes 26 power poles. According to the Metro City Municipal Planning Department standards, every 2 poles on Manhwa Boulevard are spaced exactly 55 meters apart. 55 meters, 26 poles, 9 seconds. Crunch the numbers and that beast is clocking over 600 per hour. Unreal. This is absolutely insane. I have been riding bikes for years and have never seen anything this extreme. Peyton simply cannot stop shaking her head in pure disbelief. Looking at the machine in the video, her face is filled with pure longing. The bike is moving way too fast to make out clearly. But as far as Peyton is concerned, with performance like that, looks do not matter. Forget about owning one. Even just getting to ride it once around the block, Peyton would consider her whole life complete. While Peyton is lost in awe, her 100,000 viewers are absolutely floored by this analysis. The visual impact of the video was already huge. But when it comes to the actual top speed, most fans had no real concept of the crazy numbers. You feel that too, right? Hearing Peyton break it down leaves thousands of fans completely speechless. Are you serious? Over 600 per hour. I drive 120 on the highway, and it feels like my soul leaves my body. This monster actually hit over 600. Is that guy on the bike not afraid to completely crash? Even Disaster could not catch him. Honestly, Disaster would love to take him, but literally cannot catch up. That helmet feels totally pointless at that speed. All I can say is his 9 seconds were more exciting than my entire life. Take the legendary H2R, every rider's ultimate dream machine. It features a massive engine producing 310 horsepower, capable of hitting 400 per hour in just 26 seconds. They call it the ground flying machine. 400 hourly already beats normal bullet train speeds. But those numbers were tested on dedicated racing tracks. Roads perfectly smooth, with surfaces engineered to be absolutely ideal for pure bike traction. Only under those perfect conditions can that legend reach 400 an hour. But Manhwa Boulevard lacks all those perfect conditions. The road surface is honestly probably full of deep cracks and huge potholes. Under those circumstances, for that bike to hit over 600, do you guys understand what that means? It means its engine, transmission, and stability are leagues beyond absolutely anything from any brand currently on the market. Not by one level, but several. Otherwise, a tiny pebble could easily send a bike going 600 into a completely devastating, horrific wipeout. Trust me, you and I cannot ignore this final detail. You and I are about to dive in. The video shows 9 seconds, but that epic chase definitely lasted much longer, probably over 2 whole minutes. The legendary H2R hitting a top speed of 400 per hour. That engine would literally explode after just 1 single minute. But this mysterious bike, flying at 600, held incredibly strong for over 2 full minutes, without any issues. I honestly cannot find the words right now. This completely shatters everything I ever thought I knew about high-speed motorcycles. calling this absolute beast the undisputed king of the entire motorcycle world? Honestly, that is not an exaggeration at all. By the end of her breakdown, Peyton's eyes are glowing with pure hype, and her stunned viewers are basically speechless after hearing every detail. The unbelievable ride they just saw in that footage can truly be crowned the absolute most powerful motorcycle on Earth. A legendary H2R already costs $720,000 per unit, so this insane bike is multiple tiers above it. What is its true value? Tens of millions? Riding this massive hype wave, Mia casually launches a quick live stream. Feeling fantastic today, going to stream for half an hour. Hearing Mia's cheerful, relaxed voice, the chat goes quiet, then suddenly explodes like a tidal wave. Wait a minute, did I hear that right? She is actually in a good mood? Did our girl bump her head somewhere? After getting totally scammed by Flynn, that ultimate trickster, she is actually smiling. I absolutely cannot handle this weirdness. Completely unhinged. She should be totally devastated and crying her eyes out right now. I came here for the drama. Guys, is there any chance she actually caught feelings for Flynn? Getting tricked by your crush is a strange kind of happiness, right? Her chat roasts her mercilessly. Are you kidding me? Do I look that desperate? Before Mia can finish her epic comeback, she suddenly screams. Here's the part you need to watch closely. The breathless viewers check the stream and absolutely freeze. A massive crash. Mia and her motorcycle have both tumbled completely over on the side of the road. Ahead on her left, a super sleek Ferrari F90 smoothly rolls to a stop. Once parked, a very fashionably dressed, pretty boy-looking driver steps right out. He doesn't even bother glancing at Mia lying right on the pavement. Instead, he inspects his multi-million-dollar supercar, then glares sharply at Mia. You better sell your house. His completely out-of-nowhere threat catches Mia totally off guard. Gritting through the sharp pain, she pushes herself bravely off the ground, her voice trembling with absolute frustration. You are the one who cut in front of me. The arrogant driver just lets out a mocking snort. Smug disbelief flashes across his pale face. Are you joking right now? You weren't watching the road. You motorcycle girls are seriously unbelievable. Do you know how much fixing a scratch from your little piece of junk costs? Your car has damage, sure, but you also need to compensate me for my motorcycle. Mia boldly fires back, turning to look at the precious custom motorcycle Flynn built for her. Not only does Richie Lee's fancy Ferrari have an ugly scratch, Mia's awesome motorcycle shell is heavily damaged. If that sturdy shell hadn't absorbed the huge impact, Mia's leg would be in much worse shape than just one tiny cut. Fine, 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 whatever you want to say. My personal time is extremely valuable, and I honestly have zero interest in wasting it on you. You owe me $5 million. For that junk motorcycle? Take $3,000. $5 million? Are you an actual, literal highway robber? Richie Lee looks at her dramatic expression and arrogantly scoffs again. Does $5 million really sound that expensive to you? If you cannot afford it, take a good look in the mirror. Have you worked hard lately? Did your tiny salary even go up? Pause a second, we all heard that insult, right? What an absolute jerk. Anyway, he claims he is done talking. I will just call the cops and let them sort this out. Richie Lee grabs his phone. Mia angrily grits her teeth and fires back. $5 million. Fine. It isn't like I haven't seen a sports car before. A full repaint and repair on this is $200,000 tops. I will pay $200,000, but you must fix my motorcycle too. And I do not want your cash. I want my motorcycle fully restored to the way it was. Saying this, Mia's eyes betray a truly deep ache. That precious motorcycle Flynn custom built for her. She completely adores it now, seeing its shell heavily dented and totally warped, of course. Absolutely breaks her poor heart. Look around the entire globe. My glorious Ferrari F90 is one of a kind. A total one-off, personally designed by Manzoni himself. As for your piece of junk bike, you expect me to fix it? I do not have time for that. What I earn in 1 hour could easily buy countless amounts of your pathetic little bikes. Here is $100,000. That easily covers your tiny motorcycle, right? This ridiculous thing is so ugly. Absolutely hideous. Looking at it for even one more second is an insult to my eyes. Now that I have paid for it, it is mine. Tank, smash it to pieces. Richie Lee tosses a bank card down, turning to a massive man standing nearby. The stunned stream viewers hadn't even noticed someone else quietly stepping out of Richie Lee's flashy car. Now, this hulking giant named Tank hears Richie Lee's command and slowly lumbers toward Mia's motorcycle, casually grabbing a heavy brick along the way. He's dead serious about smashing her bike. Trust me, you and I must see what happens next. Stick with me here. Watching that giant with a brick, Mia is absolutely terrified, but she refuses to let her precious motorcycle get wrecked. She screams out, "Stop, please stop. Do not touch my ride." Gathering every ounce of bravery, she blocks his path. But this guy, he completely ignores her and just shoves her away. He raises the heavy brick high, ready to smash her precious bike into pieces. Mia bursts into tears. "I really don't want your money. Just please spare my bike." Suddenly, men in sharp suits appear completely out of nowhere. They forcefully push Richie Lee's bodyguard back a solid 7 or 8 meters. Before Mia can even process this madness, a silver-haired foreign man suddenly rushes in. He basically throws himself down beside the motorcycle, looking totally devastated. "Oh my goodness, who did this? Who did this? I will curse them in the name of heaven. Yes, curse them." This old man is literally wiping away tears right now. Mia is completely speechless. Even Richie Lee frowns in total confusion. But seeing this old guy and those sharp-suited men, he absolutely doesn't dare to act cocky. "Who are you people?" Richie Lee's shaky voice hangs in the air. The old man completely ignores him. Still muttering to himself, he suddenly turns toward Mia with pure excitement. "My dear Lei, I am Mole, Regional Director for the amazing Chrysler Group. 20 minutes ago, our intelligence team tracked down a guy named Derek. Derek told us that this miraculous motorcycle, the one that hits 600 kilometers per hour, actually belongs to you. On behalf of Chrysler, I send our warmest regards. And I humbly ask, would you ever consider selling this absolutely magnificent machine to us? Rest assured, we will definitely offer you an incredibly generous amount of money." His bright, gleaming eyes make Mia feel genuinely uneasy right now, and his perfectly fluent Mandarin leaves her staring totally blankly. As for the thousands of viewers watching the live stream, after a moment of total silence, the chat absolutely explodes. "Wait, am I really hearing this right? You're going to want to hear this. He is saying that legendary train-chasing motorcycle, the machine every blogger has been hyping to the stars, belongs to her? The famous bike that reached legendary status was built by Flynn. Wait, wasn't everyone just saying this was some fake corporate marketing stunt? Somebody slap me, I must be hallucinating." Seeing Mia frozen in pure shock, Mulder turns toward Richie Lee with a totally stone-cold expression. He waves his hand, and his suited men instantly march right straight toward Richie Lee. Seeing this terrifying squad approach, Richie Lee swallows hard. His voice shakes. "What are you doing? We live in a lawful society. Assault is a crime bang." Before he can even finish, a heavy thud echoes through the air. The men aren't going for him at all. They walk right past him, pull out heavy batons, and start smashing his multi-million-dollar supercar. One hit, then another. The sound of metal crashing against metal rings out. In just a few wild seconds, Richie Lee's once proud Ferrari is totally reduced to absolute scrap metal. Watching this absolute madness unfold, Richie Lee's eye twitches uncontrollably. But against these terrifying foreign enforcers, he doesn't dare say a single word. We all felt that. Mia finally snaps out of it. Staring at the jaw-dropping scene right in front of her, she blurts out, "Mr. Mulder, I never agreed to sell you my motorcycle." Mia simply assumes Mulder did all of this just to defend her, but Mulder slowly shakes his head. "My esteemed lady, this really has nothing to do with buying the bike. He dared to damage a true gift from heaven to all humanity. Obviously, I had to make him pay. Such a perfect machine now slightly scratched because of this absolute fool." Mulder shakes his head, then turns to Richie Lee with a freezing glare. Your car is totally destroyed. The Chrysler Group will absolutely replace it with an identical one. But for the terrible damage you've done to this motorcycle, our group will represent this lady in a full legal prosecution. If the motorcycle's shell can be restored to its flawless original condition, great. If not, you will face the most severe legal consequences imaginable. The Chrysler Group's entire legal department will treat this exact incident as top priority. And honestly, I must remind you, this shell is directly linked to the bike's extraordinary stability. This mind-blowing level of technology has never appeared anywhere in the entire world. His powerful words ring out, each one landing like a heavy hammer. Richie Lee stands there, completely dumbfounded, realizing he is about to face the full legal wrath of a massive multinational corporation. Richie Lee just can't stop shaking in his expensive boots. Now, it perfectly makes sense why a regional director went this far to protect Mia. The real reason behind this entire situation comes down to Flynn's incredible motorcycle. So what do we take from this? Don't mess with Flynn. Mr. Mulder, I cannot thank you enough, but I still won't sell it. Just order one from Flynn. Come along with me. The absolute second she mentions Flynn built this legendary motorcycle, Mia turns into a massive fangirl, but Mulder just shakes his head, smiling bitterly. Finding you meant we naturally figured out exactly where this legendary motorcycle really came from. We instantly placed an order with Mr. Flynn and formally pitched a major business partnership. Flynn's reply was wonderfully simple. Zero interest. The guy only sells his products, never his actual patents. Though, if we magically reverse engineer his incredible motorcycle tech entirely by ourselves, he is totally fine with us using it. We just pay standard licensing fees. That explains our huge eagerness. So how about this special deal? My highly esteemed lady, let the Chrysler Group rent this miraculous motorcycle. 3 short days is honestly all the time we need. After 3 days, it returns in flawless condition. Mulder gives Mia those hopeful eyes. And honestly, hearing this, she just cannot refuse him. Just 3 short days. She can absolutely handle that. Meanwhile, for the millions of viewers watching, chat just explodes all over again. That is my idol, Flynn right there. So incredibly cool. Selling products only, never selling patents. Facing a massive giant like Chrysler, Flynn never flinched once. I bet he calmly rejected an absolutely astronomical pile of cash. Obviously, it is a $10 million bike. And old Mulder claims the technology alone equals 9 figures. Honestly, the brilliant technology inside Flynn's motorcycle is literally beyond any price tag. The guy is insanely great at everything. The order line is just absurdly long. When is my turn? Viewers argue non-stop, and this crazy hype discussion never actually ends. Meanwhile, the clever fans instantly flood my live stream. As always, my channel strictly exists just for taking official motorcycle orders. I rarely stream, but you gotta watch closely here. My channel's live viewer count just absolutely exploded to 2, 3, then 5 million. Numbers keep climbing insanely fast. But the most important part, the order prices being offered are just completely absurd. Even the lowest priced order inside the current top 10 already broke $1 million. Every single person desperately wants a motorcycle. The top 5 are major motorcycle brands, and their massive offers have easily hit $3 million each. They clearly share Chrysler's main goal. Buy one of my legendary motorcycles and intensely study the wild, groundbreaking technology I put inside it. Too bad for them, at this exact moment, I haven't accepted one single order, completely ignoring the stream entirely. Meanwhile, tons of eager motorcycle enthusiasts are growing super restless and impatient. They crashed the Chrysler Group's official website. After all, Chrysler is literally the only corporate group holding a Flynn motorcycle right now. If I ever take orders, I'll choose one maximum. But if Chrysler actually makes a tech breakthrough, that literally changes absolutely everything. Maybe very soon, absolutely everyone could own a brilliant Flynn motorcycle. Hey Chrysler, figured out Flynn's motorcycle yet? We are all waiting on you. Build them. Make an exact copy, and we will absolutely buy from you. Come on, Chrysler. Our absolute biggest motorcycle dreams ride on you. Kawasaki asks, can Chrysler even handle this? If not, hand it over. Suzuki strongly agrees. Kawasaki makes a great point. If you honestly cannot do it, just step aside. You and I both know what's coming. Chrysler's official website comment section has turned into an absolute chaotic spectacle right now. It isn't just regular fans pushing. Even major manufacturers are relentlessly piling heavy pressure onto the entire Chrysler group. Sweating under this massive pressure, Chrysler's official website quickly drops a response. After deeply evaluating this epic motorcycle built by Mr. Flynn, we regretfully inform all loyal fans and eager followers of the Chrysler Group. First, certain insane tech inside Flynn's motorcycle is beyond our current ability to replicate. We estimate 3 years minimum. Second, testing proves this beast's true top speed is not just over 600 kilometers per hour. It hits 798, basically 800. And surprisingly, Flynn did not even use the best available materials here. He deliberately cut costs on specific parts. If Flynn never cut those corners, we strongly believe the top speed easily shatters 800. Finally, the Chrysler Group officially extends Mr. Flynn an open invitation for a partnership. He is the ultimate future and absolute hope. The entire motorcycle world shines brighter because of him. Chrysler's post is completely packed with massive bombshells. Dropping it feels like a huge boulder smashing still water. Massive shock waves spread everywhere. Countless viewers are completely stunned, and even huge motorcycle brands fall utterly silent. I'm completely numb. 600 wasn't even the limit. 800 is highly possible. Flynn did not build a normal motorcycle. It is a literal flying machine. Motorcycles shine brighter because of him. Remember, this is a huge public corporation's official statement. No wonder Flynn let them study his bike absolutely all they wanted to. He even discounted their licensing fees. Flynn knew from day one that Chrysler could not crack a single thing about his design. So what do you and I take from this? Flynn totally scammed that lady by hilariously cutting material costs. To put it nicely, he heavily saved on those raw materials. Let us be honest, he cut corners. Flynn absolutely owns that ultimate scammer title. Stick with me here, because while his skills are top tier, his business ethics are totally non-existent. I am laughing. People who do not even care about motorcycles are suddenly letting their imaginations go totally wild, flooding the stream with all kinds of crazy orders. Meanwhile, tucked away in my quiet workshop, I have been totally ignoring all that crazy online hype. Once I found out that the sweet motorcycle I built for Mia caused a massive nationwide sensation, my very first move was buying a ton of gear from the system store and setting it up out back. I know all too well that fame brings massive trouble. With the internet watching me so closely, someone will definitely expose this tiny workshop sooner or later. Finding an empty shell is a huge disaster. Thankfully, that massive warehouse out back saves the day. So I hit the system store, grab a huge pile of equipment, and stash it straight into the back. At a quick glance, my shop finally looks legit. But all that shiny gear completely burned through my last 2 massive payouts. My poor account balance is now under $2,000. Wiping the dust off my hands from the warehouse setup, I drop back into my computer chair. Time to hunt down my third order. That 10 million point system upgrade is miles away. But the absolute second I open my stream and check my shop tags, my eye starts twitching uncontrollably. Tech God, massive likes, snail speed, huge likes too. Ghost streamer gets decent likes. But then, I see ultimate scammer sitting at nearly 6 million likes. Absolutely insane. Seriously? What the heck? I just saved a tiny bit on costs. Please appreciate the grand vision instead of just the raw materials. I quietly mutter to myself. Call me a scammer, but the system forced me. Watch this closely, because I am totally confident they cannot guess my profits. But then, a sudden system alert completely wrecks my peace of mind. Ding! A brand new periodic financial report is generating now. Releasing in 1 week. That soft, robotic voice echoes straight through my mind. Right now, it sounds absolutely ice cold. After 10 seconds of silence, I erupt. System? Are you totally insane? I run a tiny workshop, not a giant public corporation. Why on earth would you publish my financial data? You made me charge those crazy prices, and now you completely stab me in the back. Do you have a heart? Or do you just want my angry customers to show up here and literally wipe me out? My chest heaves heavily, and my furious glare could melt steel. It is super lucky the system lacks a body. I would absolutely strangle it myself. But the system ignores my epic rage. Total silence. I take a deep breath. Yelling at it is useless. This thing only exists to troll me. I sit up straight, angrily browsing through the massive order list. But seeing all those dazzling new orders with incredibly sky-high prices, my sour mood actually improves a lot. Since Chrysler admitted my motorcycle technology is currently impossible to replicate, all the major global manufacturers have totally surrendered. The crazy prices finally stopped climbing, but the top offers still sit around 3 to 4 million. With prices this high, knocking out a few orders gets me that 10 million points to unlock phase 3 of the system. Upgrading is great, but enjoying the wild challenge and pushing my creative limits is definitely way more important to me. If the system rapidly hits phase 3 or higher, its power will absolutely skyrocket, and I might totally fall behind the curve. I know what you are thinking. I just pause everything, deciding to wait for the absolute perfect order. If nothing cool appears, I will grab the richest one. But suddenly, a fresh order flashes on screen, rocketing straight to the number 1 rank. The old top order, a $3 million motorcycle request, is completely crushed. I freeze for a second, then quickly click open the order details. At first, I frown, but reading it twice makes my eyes glow intensely. Yes, you're the exact one I want. The second I accept it, the internet explodes. On my Tiger Shark channel, millions of viewers stare at this wild accepted order, and absolutely every single jaw drops in pure, unadulterated shock. Dom? Holy cow, it is actually Doc. Did Flynn's fame reach Ray already? Wait, is this Ray's dummy account? They ordered an electric vehicle from Flynn. Do not question it. It is real. Almost 10 million. I could recognize Ray's pricing blindfolded. Ray, what are you doing? How much of that 10 million will Flynn pocket? He sells products, never his patents. 10 million for one car is insane. Trust me, you and I just watched this ultimate scammer reel in the absolute biggest catch of his entire life. Ray, is the type to make 10 million and just retire? Stick with me here. If so, Flynn could retire off the single order alone. But honestly, Ray is about to get completely wrecked by Flynn. Bikes and cars are totally different beasts, especially electric vehicles. The technology required is on an entirely different level. One guy simply cannot build that alone, right? Exactly. But remember Flynn building Mia's motorcycle? You all said the exact same thing back then. You claimed computers and bikes were completely unilike. Look how that turned out. Enough. Stop arguing now. Nobody is saying anything useful. Want to know what Ray is thinking? Just ask Dami directly. Millions of viewers finally rush out of the stream, completely flooding the official Dami Group website with their wild comments. Meanwhile, inside the massive Dami Group headquarters in Yanjing, the directors are gathered, and it is absolute chaos, all because of that crazy order Ray placed with Flynn. Dami Auto has been painfully stuck in development from day one until right now. We have poured in no less than tens of billions wasted, nothing done. And now, you hand 10 million to some streamer's tiny workshop. This is absurd. Marcus, vice chairman of Dami Group and head of Dami Auto, growls with a heavy frown. That word absurd is a direct, massive challenge to Ray's authority. But the rest of the board does not seem surprised at all. Not a single look of shock appears on any of their faces. They all know that since Marcus took over Dami Auto's development, This intense kind of confrontation has honestly only gotten much worse. And the fact that Ray placed that electric vehicle order with Flynn without ever running it past the board? Watch closely. To Marcus, that is Ray swinging a blade right at him. That is exactly why he is fuming. Everyone can easily see it. The directors nervously exchange glances. Then they all face Ray, sitting in the chairman's seat, totally eager to see him handle Marcus's bold challenge. Things have escalated to this exact point. They can all smell a final showdown brewing. The only question is, can Ray take Marcus down to reclaim full control of Dami Group? Or will Marcus rise up and completely crush Ray for good? It is just a $10 million allocation. Do I really need your permission to spend $10 million? Facing Marcus head-on, Ray looks completely unbothered. He simply smiles. The board only convenes for major expenditures. Collective decisions are meant for big-ticket items. But Ray, when you place that order with Flynn, within 15 minutes of the news breaking, Dami Tech stock on the Hong Kong exchange started heavily fluctuating. Right now, shareholders are seriously questioning Dami Group's credibility. A public company focused on electric vehicles, outsourcing to some small-time workshop owner. Unbelievable. If this continues, Dami Group could actually collapse entirely. I strongly recommend we cancel the order with Flynn immediately. You must personally announce this was just a huge misunderstanding, and simultaneously increase our investment in Dami Auto. Show the shareholders our strong commitment to the electric vehicle sector. Marcus, your acting skills are truly impressive. Honestly, you should go straight into making movies. I guarantee you would win Best Actor. Ray wears a warm smile, but the harsh words coming out of his mouth land like literal slaps across Marcus's face. The conference room plunges into absolute dead silence. You felt that, right? Several directors shudder, staring at Ray, finally remembering exactly who is standing right before them. This is Ray, the man who peaked from day one. Even at his absolute poorest, he still held $4 billion in hand. Meanwhile, Liang was still tucked away in some forgotten corner. Every single subtle shift in the director's expressions does not escape Marcus, especially with Ray's mockery ringing loudly. Marcus's face darkens to its absolute limit. Ray, what exactly do you mean by that? Are you insulting me? Marcus's low, angry voice echoes through the room. Ray slowly drops his smile. You claim my decision caused Dami stock to fluctuate. Then let me ask you this. Pouring endless money into Dami Auto with absolutely zero results to show, does that somehow keep the stock stable? It has been a year, Marcus. I have absolutely zero patience left. You say I am insulting you, but aren't you the one bringing shame upon yourself? If I fail to lead Dami Auto in building our very first car, the S7, then I will step down. But if I succeed, you will resign as executive director. Ray, do you dare to accept? The moment Marcus's bold words land, the conference room erupts in loud murmurs. The directors suspected these two would clash today, but nobody expected it to go this incredibly far. Marcus, think this through. Do not be impulsive, Ray. Marcus is just speaking out of pure emotion. Please do not take it to heart. Come on, you two. Let us all calm down, have some tea, and discuss this. As executive director, I am issuing an official announcement. 3 days from now at North Hill Plaza, Dami Auto will host a launch event. You bring Dami Group's S7, and I will bring the car. Flynn delivers. We will see who wins. If you win, I lose my position and my stake. That is where we leave it, you, and I need to see this. Stick with me here. Lose, and you are banned from DMI. Every single DMI share you own? Gone. Sold off completely. The directors just stare at each other right now, totally shocked, but also showing some real, undeniable, genuine respect. Nobody ever thought this day would arrive. Ray acting like a total outsider, personally fighting the exact same massive company he built from the ground up. But they all know the truth. Ray making this crazy sacrifice, whatever it means for his own future, is actually the ultimate win for Dami Group. Because whether Marcus or Ray takes the crown, Dami Group wins no matter what. This intense power struggle between Marcus and Ray, it ends quietly, without drama. But honestly, when money is involved, the directors will definitely side with Marcus. The second Ray proposed this insane bet, every director knew he would fail. $10 million in funding in just 3 days? Impossible. Even if Flynn is an absolute genius, and even with the public hyping him like a literal god, nobody believes he can build an electric vehicle that totally dominates the market. Ray, why even put yourself through this? We have our issues. And yeah, I absolutely want to be Dami Group's executive director, but pushing you out completely? That was never my plan. Marcus looks between Ray and the wager document on the table. His eyes actually show a flash of real hesitation. Watch closely now. Ray's bold move totally shakes him. From day one at Dami, Marcus knew Ray was an absolute beast to deal with. Even his powerful Yanjing connections kept Ray on high alert. But for years, Ray has firmly blocked Marcus at every single turn inside the Dami empire. Guys who joined other top companies at the exact same time have already locked down massive core leadership roles. Only Marcus keeps getting shoved to the absolute sidelines. To Marcus, this wild bet feels like Ray, a guy who still totally has the advantage, just suddenly surrendering and waving a white flag. And Marcus just cannot wrap his head around that, because one of us is definitely holding Dami back from greatness. I want Dami to be leading the world 100 years from now. So honestly, a clash like this was always bound to happen. It is just going down a bit early. Hearing Ray spill his true feelings, Marcus decides to back off completely. That crushing tension in the massive conference room just vanishes instantly. Marcus stares right at Ray, completely silent for over 10 long seconds. Then he gives a slight bow, his voice packed with genuine respect. Ray, I am not your equal, but rest assured, Dami in my hands will soar further than ever before. Pausing for a second, Marcus adds, 2 hours before signing this deal, our Dami Auto division already secured a massive, unbelievable breakthrough. 3 days. The S7 will completely dominate the electric vehicle market like an absolute king. You and I both know this is insane. He turns and walks out. The Dami Group directors watch him leave, hesitate for a second, then stand and follow him, one by one. Before long, the massive boardroom holds only Ray Creek. A heavy chair slowly slides back. Ray circles the table and slowly walks over to the massive floor-to-ceiling window. Looking down from way up here, the entire glowing city is spread out right before him. Ray stares out for a long time before quietly whispering to himself, is it really a guaranteed loss? That inexperienced kid? There's just something incredibly familiar about him. He completely reminds me of my younger self. But I already know he is way more talented than I ever was back then. While Ray is gambling everything on Flynn at the outskirts workshop, I have already entered my super lab. The whole world knows. Ray placed a huge order with me. Everyone knows it is for an electric vehicle, but those fine details? Only I know them. Standing in the literal primeval forest inside my super lab, I replay Ray's massive 1,000-word order in my head, and I just have to smirk. Even if I totally fail, Ray will not demand a refund, and he will never expose my failure to the public. The guy is an absolute legend. The exact second I read his words, I wanted this job. But after seeing his complete, insane vision for this EV, I was 100% hooked. Gears, balance shafts, advanced composite materials, production costs, batteries, motors, electronic controls, the list just never ends. And the absolute most critical piece, the autonomous driving system. Ray, you seriously are not afraid to demand the impossible. What a wild challenge. If my system had military-grade manufacturing unlocked, I could definitely add some serious firepower to Ray's vehicle. For now, I just have to push my imagination to the absolute limit. And there is one massive catch. Even if Ray forgives the debt, my system will still slap me with a massive failure verdict if I mess this up. When that happens, even if I keep the cash, I will not earn a single system point for my next big upgrade. Looks like I need to give this everything I have. At least time should still be on my side. I mutter a quick pep talk to myself, then pour absolutely all my energy into building this electric beast. while I grind away inside the lab. The whole world goes completely insane over Dami's massive announcement. Trust me, you're going to want to see what happens next. Stick with me here. Dami Auto invites us to North Hill Plaza in 3 days for an absolute miracle. Dami is born for pure passion. Once the news of Ray's order with me exploded online, massive crowds instantly crashed their official website. People only wanted to know what Ray was actually planning. Nobody expected Dami Auto to suddenly drop a bomb this massive on everyone. Am I in the wrong place? A science fiction movie set? Everyone just thought Ray wanted a custom car from Flynn for pure fun. But who knew they were this serious? 3 days. Just 3 days. You do not just create absolute miracles overnight. Since Dami made the official announcement, the internet says we should wait. In 3 days, everyone will finally see what this machine is truly made of. Countless fans are furiously debating online. Most people already guess the big North Hill Plaza event is exactly where Dami reveals the epic car Ray ordered. As for that secret bet between Ray and Marcus, nobody knows a single thing. And that is exactly what Ray wants. Whether Flynn actually delivers the car in 3 days or not, Dami Group holds an absolute, unbeatable advantage. And thanks to me, the global spotlight on electric vehicles is blindingly bright. Building the car frame feels pretty straightforward thanks to my previous motorcycle experience. The two projects actually share a ton of the same engineering basics. Plus, with the system and fully automated next-generation equipment, I effortlessly dial every single material to the exact specifications I need. Inside the super lab, I spend about 10 days working. That translates to under half a day in reality. And the entire car frame and component assembly are perfectly finished. This insane speed alone would leave the most elite automotive companies in the entire world totally speechless. After all, I'm working with absolutely zero templates, designing purely from my own vision of peak performance. With the main build finished, I dive straight into the crucial details. Specifically, the 3 core components of any electric vehicle: the battery, the motor, and the electronic controls. These 3 parts will define exactly how this beast performs. This phase takes way longer than the first one. It takes me over 20 full days to finish everything. At this point, I have spent an entire month inside the super lab. But this machine still is not a finished electric vehicle. Why? Because it still lacks the most critical, highly marketable feature of any modern car today: the advanced autonomous driving system. Now pay attention. This is exactly where the real insane challenge begins. Getting my focus locked in, feeling sharp, I dive headfirst into coding the complex autonomous driving system. Time slips away like sand through your fingers, fading before you blink. Just like that, 3 whole days fly by. By the morning of the 3rd day, right after breakfast, that huge plaza below North Hill is already totally swarming with excited crowds. Massive banners reading Dami Group, Fly High, are proudly fluttering in the wind, completely visible from hundreds of meters. It is not just ordinary fans excited about this epic event. Building over the last 3 days, this Dami Auto launch sparked insane interest everywhere. Even top business titans woke up super early, sitting eagerly at their screens, just waiting for the official Dami live broadcast to finally kick off today. Inside a beautiful classic villa in Shen City, Huawei Group Chairman Nathan is calmly brewing his tea, frequently glancing up at his glowing screen. The Dami launch has not officially started yet, but their live stream is already rolling. You saw that massive crowd too, right? Honestly, it is bigger than Huawei's own events. As for Cease, Nathan absolutely adores her, so she is always the type to just speak her mind freely around him. Nathan looks over at his beloved niece and cannot help but shake his head, smiling. Cease, watch this live stream very closely today. I truly believe you will learn a lot. Dami Group might not match Huawei yet, but in pure ability, 10 of me could not equal 1 Ray. Nathan says this with absolute sincerity. He might be showing a hint of modesty, but clearly, Nathan's respect for Ray has reached the absolute highest level possible. Hearing this, Cease's big, beautiful eyes instantly start sparkling. She playfully tugs on her uncle's arm. Uncle Nathan, did you figure something out? Come on, tell me right now. Nathan gives his niece a completely helpless look, sips his tea, and finally speaks. All right. Uncle Ray is clearly building massive momentum here. Building momentum? Cease tilts her head, her face filled with complete confusion. Nathan pauses, then continues talking. Cease, you actually noticed it yourself. Just like you said, Dami's scale cannot compare to Huawei right now. So why is Dami's stock actually rising today? It is all because of the electric vehicle hype. That young guy named Flynn is incredibly talented. But building a complete electric car in 3 days? How could that even be possible? Still, I genuinely like this kid. Very few young people have this level of raw technical skill today. I already had our Huawei HR department send Flynn an official job offer. He will absolutely be tempted. See the pure admiration in Nathan's eyes? Trust me, you and I are watching a legend rise. Come along with me. Cease is bursting with curiosity right now, knowing perfectly well her uncle is famously generous. Uncle Nathan, what exactly did you offer Flynn? Nathan just turns towards Cease. You really want to know? Yes, I totally do. Seeing Cease nodding like a crazy bobblehead, Nathan decides not to drag out the suspense. The offer I gave Flynn includes shares of Huawei stock, plus a base yearly salary at least 300 million, alongside an automatic 10% annual raise. Nathan's voice fills the entire room. Cease's face completely freezes. She expected something huge, but an astronomical number like this? Forget everything else. That 300 million alone could easily fund a 30-person elite tech team at Huawei. Cease stands absolutely stunned for seconds. Suddenly, the screen announces the Dami launch has officially started, finally snapping her right out of her deep shock. She and Nathan stare up at the live stream together, but Cease just can't stop muttering under her breath. Unless Flynn is completely blind, he accepts. Now watch closely, because the DMI auto launch is officially kicking off right now. Over 5 million viewers flood the live stream instantly. The chat completely takes over the screen, while the DMI stream managers just stare at their own back-end data in pure, absolute disbelief. At any given second, messages mentioning DMI number in the thousands. Sounds impressive, right? But messages screaming for Flynn? 80,000 easily. The DMI team braced themselves, but they never imagined that over half the audience at their own EV launch came purely to see Flynn. While the chat goes absolutely crazy, Ray has already taken the stage. After greeting the hyped crowd, he briefly declares the event open, handing things over. Marcus grabs the mic, struts right to center stage, and cuts straight to the real chase. I know exactly why you are all here, so no stalling. Let me introduce the absolute star of our show today. As Marcus's voice drops, all 5 camera angles dramatically swing one way, revealing a stunning, incredibly sleek car driven onto the stage by a Dami crew member. Marcus watches it roll up, his eyes totally glowing with pure confidence and deep pride. Once it parks dead center, Marcus starts breaking down its insane features in detail. From the gorgeous interior to the sleek exterior, matching range performance against hardware specs. Every single time Marcus pauses, the crowd erupts into wild applause. Hearing this presentation, tons of industry insiders are definitely nodding in huge approval. They all agree the S7 is solid, totally respectable among top-tier electric vehicles. You and I both thought the same thing. Millions online are going wild. Flynn actually didn't scam Ray. The outside and inside both scream serious cash. Flynn has genuinely leveled up. He is not the same guy anymore. Honestly, how do I say this? It's solid, but not mind-blowing. Looks pretty identical to every other EV on the road right now. Guess Flynn really only masters computers and bikes. But hey, 3 days? Giving Ray a car like this is already an incredible flex. Wait, pause for a second. Look at that massive screen. This car might not be Flynn's. While millions of fans argue online, the giant LED screen on stage suddenly flickers, flashing intense lines of text and highly detailed images. Marcus turns around to face the massive crowd, smiling like a winner. Ladies and gentlemen, the car Dami Group presents today is the S7, built by me, leading our auto division through over 300 days and nights of pure, grueling work. This is Dami's very first generation electric vehicle. Sure, it might have some imperfections. It might not stand at the absolute peak of the current EV market just yet. But please give us some time. Dami Auto will soon deliver something truly epic. They might not be a blockbuster smash right now, but they have officially kicked down the door to the whole EV industry. Just look at Uncle Ray's genius marketing skills. If he had not used Flynn's massive hype to pull this kind of attention, Dami Auto probably would not have even made a tiny splash. Nathan keeps talking. Keep watching it. I have some business to handle. Enjoy the rest yourself. Nathan is literally just standing up when a spicy question suddenly hits the screen. Marcus, Ray's massive order with Flynn has completely dominated the internet for 3 days. Everyone genuinely expected this Dami launch to spotlight Flynn's custom car, but from the very beginning, this event had zero to do with Flynn. I have to ask, did Flynn actually completely fail? Could he not build a car meeting your standards in 3 days? An on-scene reporter boldly asks, gripping the microphone super tight. Nathan hesitates, then sits right back down, and trust me, you and I aren't the only ones hooked. Every single viewer, desperate for that answer, instantly leans forward, totally captivated. On stage, Marcus hears this, smiling calmly, before looking right at Ray in the huge crowd. I think Ray should answer that himself. Hey, wait, you have not even paid me yet. I drove for hours bringing this car here. Mr. Flynn told me to collect the shipping fee from you. An old farmer suddenly blurts out, looking totally anxious. Hearing this, even Ray completely freezes up. The millions of stream viewers instantly burst into pure laughter. You and I are going to need a minute here. I literally just spat my water out. Let me catch my breath. Delivering a whole car on a farming tractor is crazy enough. But making the shipping fee collect on delivery? Nobody pulls off stuff like this. Same old Flynn and his wild tricks. Just look at poor Ray. He is questioning his whole existence right now. That is just too good. The online viewers are completely losing it. The live audience erupts in massive laughter too. Only the old farmer stands guard, staring down Ray like, no cash, no car. Once Ray finally snaps out of it, his eyelid starts twitching violently. He waves his hand, and a woman looking like his secretary rushes over. She pulls a few hundred in cash out and hands it to the old farmer. Only then does the farmer look fully satisfied, leading Ray straight toward the back of that tractor bed. A moment later, the tailgate drops, and everyone finally gets a crystal clear look at Flynn's custom electric vehicle. It looks absolutely nothing like modern EVs. Looking closely, it perfectly matches the classic, long discontinued A and E86. Is Flynn a massive Takumi Fujiwara fan? Did he seriously build an A and E86 replica? Those retro vibes are undeniably strong here. I actually really love this. Come on, Flynn. Now pay attention, because here is where it gets wild. The scammer grabbed a cheap junk car to save cash. Nobody understands Flynn's madness like you. While viewers argue, Ray eagerly climbs onto that tractor bed. All 5 live camera angles completely lock onto the car he built. Nearby, Marcus steps off stage, watching from a distance with a completely calm, unbothered expression on his face. Beside him, several Dami Group directors have already started happily congratulating Marcus today. Marcus, congratulations. The Dami S7 you spearheaded was a resounding success today. Excellent job. From now on, Dami has officially entered the EV industry. Marcus, you deserve all the credit here. I just checked the numbers. Dami Group stock price has already risen 0.05% in the last few minutes. I can already see the future. Under Marcus's leadership, Dami is climbing to even greater heights. Several directors gather around Marcus with big smiles. Hearing all this sweet flattery, Marcus cannot help but let the wrinkles around his eyes deepen with a massive grin. He lifts his chin slightly, nodding straight toward Ray's direction. Gentlemen, let us not celebrate too soon. We have not even seen the car Ray spent 10 million having Flynn build. Marcus chuckles. But the absolute contempt in his eyes is super easy to spot if you look. But watch closely with me here. Something is going terribly wrong on Ray's end. As the loud commotion rises, Marcus squints in that direction. Over there, Ray has already inspected and jumped into the car. It is still sitting on the tractor bed with the ramps perfectly set up, just waiting for the engine to start so he can drive down. But when Ray presses the one-touch start button, the car does not respond at all. Seeing this, both the live audience and stream erupt into crazy chatter. Did Flynn actually mess up? Why will the car not start? Looks like 3 days really was way too short. Flynn probably left something unfinished. Game over. His legendary reputation is about to be completely destroyed. The car cannot even start. What is the point anymore? Finally, balance is fully restored. My heart is at peace at last. Compared to Flynn, I always felt like a total loser. The nervous noise at the venue just keeps building. Ray, meanwhile, furrows his brow and quickly starts checking what went wrong. As a tech industry mogul, he definitely knows a thing or two about cars. Maybe not at an expert level, but far beyond the average person. And when he checks, Ray completely loses his mind. The battery. This car literally has absolutely zero charge. Ray slumps back into his seat. Even he cannot help but curse out loud, with dark lines forming across his forehead. His voice carries right through the live broadcast equipment, and the crowd noise vanishes instantly. The entire North Hill Plaza falls into absolute dead silence. The quiet lasts several full seconds. Then, a massive explosion of laughter erupts across the venue. People are completely doubled over, physically unable to even straighten up. Tears streaming down their faces. Many had only heard of Flynn's legendary scammer reputation without really grasping it. Today, they are finally experiencing his madness completely firsthand. And the viewers who came specifically for Flynn, they totally lost it long ago. I cannot. Let me catch my breath. Let me laugh. Same old Flynn. Same old tricks. Still the absolute ultimate scammer, without a single doubt. I thought Flynn not putting any gas in Mia's motorcycle was peak scammer energy. But Ray definitely has it even worse. Flynn did not even charge the battery. A $10 million order. And he refused to spend $30 on electricity. In the entire corporate world, this is just absolutely unheard of. Everyone else treats the customer like royalty, but Flynn just treats himself like the ultimate king. So what do you and I take away? Ray never imagined his massive reputation meant zero to Flynn. Scam just like everyone else. Let's jump in. Did you catch Ray's face? He is absolutely shell-shocked, completely losing his billionaire composure right now. Only Flynn pulls that off. Leaning back inside his car, Ray's thoughts are a total, chaotic mess. Going over those crazy demands he ordered, Ray is honestly starting to lose hope entirely today. What is his actual game plan? Can you even compare these two rides? Ray mutters completely to himself. Silence falls. 10 heavy seconds pass by. Once the crew drags over a mobile charger, Ray finally snaps right out of his daze. Whatever. At this stage, the absolute, only choice is trusting Flynn completely. Taking a heavy breath, Ray exits the ride, whispers right into his secretary's ear, and marches straight toward the exit. The crowd assumes Ray stormed off because of Flynn, and the chatter instantly explodes into chaos. Seeing everything spiral fast, the secretary steps up to explain. The group's huge launch is not over. Ray promised that once charging finishes, he will officially showcase this epic vehicle Flynn built for the group today. Please wait patiently. The secretary steps aside, monitoring the charging process. Tens of thousands on site and millions watching online actually decide to wait in total silence. Any other company making folks wait 30 minutes would clear the room. But thanks to Flynn, the massive crowd shows absolutely unbelievable patience today. 20 minutes later, engine roars suddenly tear the sky. People were getting bored, but those earth-shattering sounds turn heads fast. At the North Hill Plaza mountain entrance, supercars roll out one by one in perfect formation. One quick glance reveals over a dozen, including Ferraris and Lamborghinis, plus other top-tier monster rides. Instantly, they prove supercars are absolutely every man's wild, ultimate fantasy ride. You are going to want to see this part. We are about to witness the ultimate racing spectacle. These world-class supercars are specially organized by the group, driven by absolute pro racing legends. Ray's voice echoes across the giant plaza, and the massive crowd completely erupts. No one expected this insane bonus event today. The stream goes wild. Ray always brings entertainment value off the charts every time. Hearing those massive engines roar, my blood is boiling. But wait, this is an EV launch. Bringing gas-guzzling supercars into a race? Is this really smart? What is Ray even thinking here? Worried his EV sells too fast? Why overthink this? Just enjoy the epic show. Wait, hold on. Look there. Am I tripping? Viewers absolutely lose it. The live crowd just freezes. Right at the mountain road start line, Ray sits driving Flynn's EV, lined up straight against those massive, high-powered supercars. Gasps hit like a tidal wave. Someone slap me. Am I hallucinating today? Not a hallucination, guys, but let that sink in. Has Ray completely lost it? Over a dozen supercars racing, and Ray enters an electric ride. Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Koenigseggs. If Ray even spots their exhaust fumes, I will eat my words. Pure, ultimate entertainment value. This is absolutely the wildest car launch ever. Regular viewers are not the only stunned ones. Even Marcus and the other high-level directors in the stands sit shocked. Wiping his eye, Marcus says, "Ray, are you personally proving that car is useless just to make our S7 look way better today? Your sacrifice for our group is more than enough. Director or not, you will always hold my deepest, most absolute respect. Forever." Marcus speaks with raw emotion, looking genuinely moved by Ray's sacrifice. Hearing those deep words, the other directors catch on quickly. So that is the plan. Ray making a massive scene brings huge attention to our S7. The race hits final countdown. Over a dozen supercars rev up, ready to launch. The thunderous roar shakes everything. Meanwhile, Ray's electric vehicle sits there like a totally helpless lamb, ready to get absolutely crushed by these supercars. Finally, the giant countdown hits 0, the starting gun blasts, and every supercar rockets away. The perfect launch control sends the massive crowd into a frenzy. Laughter erupts as eyes shift to Ray's car. Sure, an EV accelerates faster than normal gas cars, but that only works against total, everyday basic vehicles. Against real supercars, it gets totally outclassed. Right off the line, Ray falls way behind. A few seconds late, Ray cannot even see the fast supercar's exhaust fumes anymore. But here is what you and I know. The boss always gets drone focus. Stick with me here. Out of 5 tracking drones, 2 stay glued to Ray. He finally hits that legendary first curve on the North Hill Mountain Road. Fans everywhere are glued to the massive LED screen. The drone footage is absolutely crystal clear. Naturally, everybody is busy hyping up those flashy supercars. Nobody cares about Ray right now. They give him one lazy glance, totally ready to watch the supercars blaze ahead. But after that single glance, nobody can look away. Someone actually screams in pure disbelief. Ray just hit 120 kilometers per hour, slower than supercars, but still absolutely insane. That is the max speed allowed on highways. And at that wild pace, Ray does not even brake for the curve. He leans right into it, clearing that entire arc in under 1 second, absolutely blasting through. Guys, did I see that right? Ray never slows down for turns. I'm completely losing my mind. He actually cleared that sharp corner way faster than those professional drivers in the supercars. And it is not just looks. I have been timing him. The absolute fastest supercar took 12 seconds on that first corner. Ray did it in 0.6 seconds, a full 20 times faster. I thought Ray was here just to show off the car. Turns out he is flexing his epic driving skills. I am totally in love. I am officially Ray's biggest fan from now on. People thought his no-brake cornering was absolute peak driving, but they had no idea. This was just the beginning. heel-toe downshift, trail braking, mid-throttle drift initiation. Is Ray seriously not a retired F1 racer? Now watch closely, because these insane moves are just a simple warm-up. Weight transfer, lifting the front to create overtaking lines, and evasive maneuvering for the tightest counter steers to manage his tire wear. And the absolute scariest part, Ray pulls off flawless inertia drifts. His skills rival Takumi Fujiwara from Initial D. The chat has completely exploded. Nobody expected this wild race to turn out like this. Among all those supercars and professional drivers, Ray has become the undisputed star. North Hills Mountain Road is practically famous for its curves. And Ray, driving that car with absolutely jaw-dropping techniques, has rocketed from dead last all the way to first place, pulling nearly 1 full kilometer ahead of second. The pro drivers just passed by an exhaust-free electric vehicle are all wearing the exact same look. Existential crisis. Boss Ray, who is the professional here? Me or you? Am I the one driving the supercar? Or are you? Who knows? Ray has a ton of hobbies. Maybe he has been doing this since he was young. When Ray retires, he could go straight into professional racing. I will rent out the whole venue for everyone to watch. Hey, you said it. We are going as a group. Alright, enough now. Ray's driving is impressive. Sure, but you do not seriously think he is better than actual professional racers, do you? These guys were hired by Ray. Who knows just how much they held back? Hearing Marcus's final remark, the directors all nervously lower their eyes. They might stay composed over here, but the tens of thousands of spectators at the venue are anything but calm. Before Ray even parks his car, massive roaring cheers completely fill the entire plaza. But here is the crazy part. You and I missed sitting in that driver's seat. Ray is actually in pure shock. He just stares at the steering wheel, his throat tightening. He swallows hard, pure disbelief written all over his face. He stays frozen for 2 full minutes until the other pro drivers cross the finish line. You are messing with us, right? You set up this North Hill race, called us all out here, put up $5 million for first place, and we gave it absolutely everything we had, but it turns out you are the true hidden master. Your skills are basically F1 level. Couldn't beat him, absolutely couldn't beat him. The drivers wear bitter smiles, but deep in their eyes is completely genuine admiration for Ray's epic driving. Like they say, amateurs watch for fun, experts watch for pure technique, and in these experts' eyes, Ray's driving is absolutely insane, especially when he completely overtook them earlier. Those fluid, seamless moves left every single one of them completely stunned, with even the professionals singing Ray's praises. The regular crowd needs zero convincing. Tens of thousands of people violently surge forward, shouting, "Ray, that was absolutely savage. That race was better than a Hollywood blockbuster. Ray, are you taking students? I really want to learn from you. Ray, please release a driving tutorial. I will study it on my knees. Ray, I want to have your babies." The crowd's energy is completely through the roof, the shouts getting wilder by the second. Ray calmly takes the microphone from his secretary, gives one light cough, and the noise instantly dies down. Then Ray slowly extends one finger, pointing right to the side. Everyone immediately follows his gesture and turns in total unison. When they see Ray pointing straight at Flynn's car, the crowd is about to say something, but a sudden loud hissing sound cuts them off. 3 of the car's 4 tires suddenly crack and split apart. The last one just tilts at an ugly angle, and it does not stop there. After a series of faint cracking sounds, a much louder bang erupts from inside the car. The motor is completely burned out. 1 second of silence, then everyone explodes laughing. And trust me, so are we. How much did Flynn scam out of Ray? Exactly. No charge on the battery is one thing, but this build quality is absolutely tragic. Stick with me here. I've honestly never seen a brand new car completely shatter after just one single race. Ray survived. A miracle. His legs must be shaking right now. If that car had broken down mid-race, it would have been totally game over for Ray. Honestly, Flynn's absolute clunker held Ray back today. If he had driven a real supercar, I cannot even imagine the masterpiece he would have delivered. The crowd begs for another run in the Koenigsegg. Nearby, Marcus allows himself a very slight, confident smirk. Guess Flynn's car was just a joke after all. But Ray smiles, ready to show them something else entirely. Ray pulls out his phone and hands it over. He tells his secretary Jiang to play the video recording on the big screen. Even now, a lingering sense of pure awe still fills Ray's eyes. His secretary nods quickly and hurries away with the mobile device. The live and online audiences both pause in total confusion. Nobody knows what kind of secret Ray actually has up his sleeve. Patiently, every single eye turns to the massive digital screen. Once the secretary finishes setup, the mysterious footage finally starts. Wow, it is Ray's in-car footage. This is fascinating. Everyone wants to see how he drove like that. Ray is an absolute legend for sharing this footage. I swear people will study every single frame. Just look at the professional drivers. They have all pulled out their phones, recording with super serious faces. Every single eye locks deeply onto the big digital display. Nobody dares to blink, totally terrified of missing one moment. Now pay close attention. On screen, over a dozen supercar engines roar to life right before the race begins. But look at the footage. Ray's hands are nowhere near that steering wheel. He just reaches out one finger and taps the main screen. 1 second later, an elegant, artificial female voice suddenly echoes from the massive screen, reaching the completely stunned ears of every single person watching live. Ding! You have selected fully autonomous driving mode. Please fasten your seatbelt. The chime sounds incredibly beautiful. The voice sounds soothing, but right now, those words hit like a massive thunderbolt, shocking every single listener. Every face completely freezes in shock. Nearby, Marcus and his directors share looks of absolute disbelief, wondering if their ears are simply broken. Fully autonomous driving. Does this actually mean Ray never beat those pro drivers in their supercars? It was just the car's amazing autonomous system doing the work. The fancy i7 model that Marcus launched could auto-drive to the stage, and everyone thought that was super impressive. When Marcus showed it off earlier, the crowd cheered with huge applause. That alone proved its insane impact. But what are they all hearing right now? An autonomous system literally just telling Ray to buckle up. If this whole incredible race was honestly completed by Flynn's car all alone, we both know what this means. If Ray never even touched that steering wheel from start to finish, this car will send an absolute shockwave straight through the whole electric vehicle industry. Next to this masterpiece, every other car claiming to have self-driving capability is just a cheap toy. How does this tech even exist? 10 more years of research could not build this. Marcus yells, totally losing his composure. Unlike the other directors, he knows better than anyone else just how absolutely insane this is. Marcus, do not panic just yet. Let us keep watching to see how this plays out. Another director whispers with narrowed eyes. Hearing that, Marcus presses his lips tight and turns back to the screen with a deep frown. Overcoming their initial shock, the regular audience stays totally glued to the massive digital display. The epic race footage officially starts up. Buckled up securely, he simply leans back into his seat, totally relaxed. Perfect heel-toe downshifts, sharp trail braking, and mid-throttle drift triggers. Flawless front-rear weight transfer to lift the front and create overtaking lines. Insane evasive moves for tight counter steers to manage tire wear, and inertia drifting that even top pros cannot pull off. The massive crowd watches a single car perform every one of those epic tricks entirely by itself. The deeper they get into the video, the more shocked everyone feels, especially at 10 minutes and 8 seconds, when that elegant chime rings. Ding! Tire and motor overload detected. Estimated failure in exactly 8 minutes and 7 seconds. All other components operating normally. The crowd snaps awake from the dream, completely stunned. So, the tire and motor failures were detected by the AI all along, timed down to the exact second. There was never any real danger during the entire race. I'm completely done. I thought that 800 speed motorcycle was his limit. But in just 3 days, Flynn drops my jaw all over again. So what do we make of this? Flynn has reached legendary status yet again. Computers? Motorcycles? Electric vehicles? Where does his genius even end? I never imagined one single person could be this wildly incredible. Is it too late to go back to school? You and I are witnessing pure genius. I have never felt such immense power of knowledge and skill. There is no way Flynn is under 80. Getting results this unbelievable would normally take an entire lifetime of heavy research. As the stream hits 10 million viewers, the hype becomes completely unstoppable. Seeing that car driving fully autonomously on the big screen is pure magic. It feels exactly like watching a real-life superhero shining bright. Regular fans are mind blown. But get this. Even the massive business titans watching the broadcast are sitting there completely speechless. Over in Shen City, Nathan watches this entire event unfold, his breathing getting noticeably heavy. Huawei recently launched their own electric vehicle too, and its overall quality was genuinely outstanding. It completely crushed the competition, climbing straight to the top electric vehicle rankings using its incredibly strong autonomous driving features alone. But comparing their Vision S9 self-driving to the epic car Flynn just built, Nathan is totally speechless, lacking any words. Their Vision S9 autonomous driving, compared to this masterpiece, it looks like a children's toy. Remembering that 300 million salary offer he made, Huawei HR send Flynn makes Nathan cringe. His face is burning with deep embarrassment. Huawei spent over 20 billion on research just to make the Vision S9, yet Flynn, one single guy, built an epic car that completely destroys it. Flynn alone is worth infinitely more than the entire team of experts Nathan ever hired. The gap is unimaginable. 300 million. Nathan realizes the offer wasn't just insulting Flynn, it embarrassed himself too. Pay attention here. CC, your uncle was totally wrong. Completely wrong. From the very start, this was clearly never a marketing stunt by Rai. This was just Flynn putting on a one-man show. I totally underestimated him. He alone outshines more top-tier research teams than I can count. For Long Kingdom, to discover a genius like this is a blessing for the entire nation. Laughing bitterly, Nathan's face fills with genuine excitement. Right now, the name Flynn is permanently etched into every single person's mind. Once the recording finishes, all eyes return to the car I built. A single clap breaks the heavy silence. Suddenly, like a wild chain reaction, the entire venue completely erupts into roaring, thunderous applause in seconds. Staring at that masterpiece, everyone suddenly senses that a brilliant, brand new era for electric vehicles is dawning. Right then, from inside that wrecked car with blown tires and a burnt motor, an elegant chime suddenly rings out once again. Ding! There is a voice message for the vehicle owner. Please review now. Scanning. Scanning. Clearance level exceeds threshold. Auto-playing message for vehicle owner now. The voicemail loudly streams out. Hey Ray, it's Flynn. You've probably heard already. I only sell products, absolutely never my patents. Whoever reverse engineers, it pays a licensing fee. But for this specific car, the first generation autonomous electric vehicle called Dami SUV Aurora, I'm actually willing to sell you a few patents. Can't help it. I'm just slightly short on cash lately. Reach out through the order receipt if you agree. His words echo slowly across the plaza. The venue instantly falls silent. I know what you are thinking. The online crowd goes absolutely wild. Meanwhile, Ray's grin practically stretches around his head. Ray always knew his products only, no patents rule. Originally, Ray planned to use me to secure full company control, then lead a massive team to study the epic car I built for him day and night. But instead, I just handed him the ultimate gift, right on a shiny silver platter. With my help, Rai is confident the first-generation Domi SUV Aurora can quickly enter mass production. Right now, he genuinely thinks the beautiful name Aurora, meaning light, fits perfectly. This car is a brilliant light entering the electric vehicle world. Ray is about to rush off and contact me when heavy footsteps approach. Turning around, he spots Marcus standing behind him saying, "Ray, congratulations." Marcus's face clearly shows a bitter trace of lingering disbelief. He never imagined Rai could beat the entire research division with just one guy. And it wasn't even close. Don't be so down. I didn't beat you. That genius kid did. People say my life is legendary, but compared to him, that young genius is the true legend. Hearing Ray's words, Marcus goes totally blank for a moment. Smiling bitterly, he shakes his head. Ray, you're wrong. I'm not down. I lost fair and square. Flynn is incredible. So incredible. My heart is still trembling. Your choice was brilliant too. Now, finally understand. You aren't just the founder. You're the best person to lead Dami. Ray, until next time. With those words, Marcus gives a slight bow and leaves, while Ray simply watches. Marcus hesitates, then asks, so what is your plan now? In business, they are fierce competitors, but honestly, Rai genuinely admires Marcus in so many different ways. That is where we leave it. In electric vehicle technology, Marcus is far more capable. Stick with me here. The S7 only lost to Flynn. No other electric car. Now, I am heading back to the lab. You know, Ray, powerful family has serious influence in Yanjing. I used to do endless research there, but honestly, I just got completely bored of it. But today, Flynn gave me a brand new spark. Good luck, and thank you, Ray. I really hope we can sit down and grab tea together sometime soon. With those inspiring final words, Marcus drops his baggage. He casually turns around, gives Ray a friendly wave, and walks away, looking incredibly stylish. Ray watches his figure fade into the distance, smiling as he quietly mutters to himself. Every single hard-working researcher deserves total respect. Even if most stay completely hidden in obscurity, few can create continuous, massive breakthroughs exactly like Flynn. Marcus, I really hope you find your true path. A generational genius like Flynn is incredibly rare. There is truly only one in this world. With Marcus leaving and Ray reflecting cheerfully, the DMI Group launch event ends perfectly. Now, Flynn's iconic name completely dominates every single major trending chart online. Every news section and every front page is entirely conquered by the Aurora electric car. People know basic cars. They have seen automated driving before, but a self-driving electric car that legally street races? Nobody could have ever dreamed of that. So, all those countless fans who missed the live stream are completely blown away while scrolling past the epic North Hill racing footage. Watch closely. Nobody ever expected that modern tech would make pro race car drivers completely obsolete long before traditional farmers lost their jobs. It seemed totally future-proof. As the amazing online hype explodes, our guy Flynn finally steps right into the radar of some incredibly important and powerful people. Metro City's first military district is easily a top 10 national defense installation. Its absolute greatest strength lies in raw combat capabilities. They boast top-tier military research power that entirely dominates the country. It holds the biggest military research base, where countless elite-tier scientists proudly gather together. Right now, deep inside this massive compound, a silver-haired elder, radiating pure natural authority, is happily watching the racing video on his smartphone. He adjusts the reading glasses on his nose. Truly mind-blowing. The younger generation is absolutely spectacular. I genuinely never expected Long Kingdom to produce such an extraordinary talent. It is just slightly sad that his brilliant focus stays purely civilian. That feels like a tiny waste of potential. The elder named Chester sighs warmly. He quickly presses a smart button on his desk. Minutes later, sharp, confident young man knocks and eagerly steps inside. Sir, did you actually call for me? Yes, Marco. Please find a smart way to reach out to this kid. Flynn, I really want to invite him to join our research base. Chester looks happily at his top student, Marco. As the head boss, Chester naturally mentors many. Among all those students, Marco's amazing talent easily ranks top 5. That is why Chester is always so gentle with him. But hearing Chester's surprising request, Marco hesitates slightly. Sir, I know, Flynn. You and I see his point, right? Flynn is trending everywhere, but inviting him straight to a military base bends far too many strict rules. Everyone here was handpicked from elite military academies and labs. Over half of them boast 5 solid years of military research. Meanwhile, Flynn's amazing work is purely for regular civilians. Bringing him into our high-tech base, he probably would not grasp a single thing. Marco notes quite casually. Normally, when Chester issues an order, everyone instantly obeys. Nobody ever dares question this boss, or they risk a massive verbal scolding. Despite looking totally calm right now, Chester is famously known for his wildly explosive temper. Quite a few rookie researchers have literally cried because of him. But Marco bravely speaks up, because Chester treats him like absolute gold. Surprisingly, Chester just smiles brightly. I only want Flynn to give things a quick try. I'm not making him a full member yet. Civilian tech and military gear are entirely different worlds. Whether he shines just as bright in military fields, only time will tell. All right, go make that exciting call. Chester waves his hand cheerfully. Marco nods obediently and turns around. Just as his hand grabs the shiny doorknob, Chester speaks up again. Oh, wait. Has the brilliant Serena finally finished her big experiment? The absolute second he hears Serena's name, pure admiration brightly flashes in Marco's eyes. He quickly nods his head. Yes, sir. Dr. Serena has totally completed her massive research on TZ, ultra-hard alloy. Even though this crazy experiment took roughly 2 years, her epic breakthrough will bring a totally historic revolution to our land. Battle tanks. With this ultra-hard alloy, our tank combat power jumps up 2 massive tiers. Dr. Serena is truly the most remarkable genius ever seen. Marco does not hold back one bit of his intense admiration. To him, compared to the great Serena, Flynn is basically nothing. Chester nods warmly, proud smile breaking his stern expression. That brilliant girl, Serena, has purely exceptional talent. Trust me, you'll want to remember her. She studied under me for merely 2.5 years before becoming a top advisor. All right, you and I are diving right in. Marco gets his strict orders to contact Flynn first and step up his game. After that, he needs to gather everyone in Hall 1 for a big meeting, especially Serena. Marco immediately agrees to set it up. Just hearing Serena's name makes Marco totally light up. The guy is absolutely buzzing with excitement. He rushes out of the office. Left alone, Chester locks his eyes back onto his phone, rewatching the insane footage of my fully autonomous car. This top military commander is just completely blown away. After I send Ray the core technical data for the Aurora car, I leave my workshop, craving a real break. From the inherited memories, I know. I actually have a nice apartment in the city center, so heading to the city for a couple of days seems like the perfect plan. Sure, the workshop has a bed, but come on. Keeping work and personal life totally separate is super important here. Plus, it is way too quiet out here. If I stay isolated, my social skills are going to completely vanish. I step out into the warm afternoon sunlight, throwing my arms up for a super satisfying yawn. As for the workshop, I will wait a few days before taking new orders, unless something absolutely incredible drops right into my lap. With Phase 3 military-grade manufacturing finally unlocked, I'm seriously eager to push my limits further. Alright, plan set. Time for the city. I take a deep breath, jump into my clunky old Jetta, and start a very chill drive downtown. Now, stick with me here. Over at the 1st Military District base, Chester is casually walking right toward the main conference hall. Before he even reaches the door, he hears people screaming their lungs out inside. Someone yells for Serena to stop hitting them, begging for mercy from the new advisor. They cry out that she cannot just smash people anymore, or something is gonna break. Hearing the chaos, Chester just freezes for a second. Then he shakes his head, laughing helplessly about that wild girl, and hurries his pace. Reaching the doorway, he spots a stunning silhouette delivering a massive kick, literally sending some poor guy flying straight through the air. Those long legs are incredibly powerful and undeniably striking. Chester leans in to watch. Meanwhile, Serena has zero clue Chester is watching her. Glancing at the guys groaning on the floor, she just dusts off her hands, crosses her arms, and tells them they are way too weak. She scolds them for not working out alongside their research. 2 years of training, and they are still terrible. Her crisp voice echoes loudly. The researchers on the floor literally look ready to start crying. Even the bystanders watching from the sidelines are twitching nervously. They cry out that they actually do train, running 20 kilometers of rough mountain trails every single day. 2 whole years without missing a day. But fighting her, winning, is totally impossible. Even the special forces guys avoid her completely. What can they possibly do? They tell Serena to just do her worst, choosing to fall with pride. They keep crying with super dramatic faces. Serena just looks at them, pauses for a second, violently cracks her knuckles, and steps right in. You saw that coming, right? Zero mercy. She smirks, deciding to grant their brave wish. Her leg rises for a brutal kick. But right at that exact moment, Chester finally steps right in. He tells Serena to stop torturing the juniors, casually walking in with his hands behind his back. Seeing Chester, that terrifying aura vanishes immediately. Everyone treats him like a total savior, begging the professor to save them. They scramble over, sobbing like babies, completely ruining their tough researcher image until Chester finally demands silence. He reminds them Serena means well, because a weak body cannot survive intense research. He orders everyone seated. He announces some serious business for today, and his voice suddenly shifts into a much heavier, commanding tone. The dozens of researchers immediately switch gears, completely wiping the drama from their faces and filing straight back to their seats. Only Serena stays completely unbothered, casually grabbing a chair and sitting down. Chester glances at her, then activates the massive projection screen. The second the video starts playing, every single person in the entire room totally locks their eyes on the screen. Right on screen, an unmanned car is driving itself with completely insane autonomous intelligence, pulling off jaw-dropping racing techniques and leaving every supercar totally in the dust. Even these elite researchers are completely stunned. Watching closely, Serena narrows her sharp eyes in deep thought. The video ends, leaving her deep in thought. Chester then steps up to the front, sweeping his intense gaze across everyone sitting in the room. With absolute authority, he drops the bomb. That crazy footage happened just a few hours ago. So what do you and I make of this? It is a massive tech reveal from Flynn that will absolutely change everything from here. Others might not have. So let us hear it. What are your thoughts on what you just saw? Stick with me here. Chester finishes, and the elite researchers swap nervous looks before whispering. Meanwhile, Serena sits right up front, totally lost in thought. After a quiet moment, someone stands to answer Chester. Professor, viewing this cool tech for regular people, it totally maxes out the driving experience. But street racing is completely illegal. If DMI Group brings this car to market, that wild racing mode will never pass the rules. But honestly, from a strictly tech side, I personally admire this Flynn guy a lot. He has a natural gift for anything with smart systems. Marco mentioned earlier you are thinking of recruiting Flynn to our base. I think after some time learning real military tech, he could genuinely boost our military artificial intelligence projects. A confident young guy in silver glasses speaks eloquently. Hearing that, Chester locks eyes with him and asks Stuart, what if we mean military use? Wait, military? Actual military use? Stuart freezes up for a tiny second, but seeing Chester staring him down, he just smiles and shakes his head. Professor, please do not test me here. I can figure this out. I think this tech absolutely cannot be used for the military right now. In real battles, a self-driving system could totally free up extra troop resources. But no matter how genius a machine gets, it is still just cold metal, completely unable to make smart choices on a rapidly changing real battlefield. For instance, the most basic job of any self-driving system is simply picking the fastest and most direct route. That core logic is what the whole system relies on above all else. But out in combat, moving straight ahead is not always smart, and it is definitely never safe. If you actually put this self-driving system into military gear, it would cause a total disaster. Now watch closely. His bold words echo across the room, and this time, whispers of agreement are much louder. A few female researchers even shoot admiring looks at the handsome Stuart. But suddenly, a super harsh voice cuts right in. Stuart, is it really that impossible to admit Flynn is a total genius? You guys are so arrogant. His work is genuinely amazing. Honestly, could a single one of you build a self-driving system anywhere close to his level? Her words drip with pure mockery, hitting Stuart and the guys like total slaps. But once they see who is talking, they instantly lose their nerve. Serena, I swear I'm not looking down on Flynn. I am just being objective. As for self-driving systems, I have never touched that field. I honestly do not know if I could build one, Stuart says, barely hiding his fear. Serena rolls her eyes hard. Then she turns to Chester. Professor, look at them. Every single one of these guys is unbelievably pretentious. Yeah, military tech beats civilian work sometimes. But this invention left a genius like Rai completely speechless, yet out of their mouths. It just becomes being objective. They lost all basic respect for real science. Honestly, Professor, gathering everyone in this room together is just a massive waste of time. Lock every single one in a solo room to do actual research. Then there would not be so much crazy ego flying around. We all felt that, right? Serena drops those savage lines without blinking. Stuart and the guys are literally twitching. If Serena did not have literal special forces combat skills, they would definitely fight back. But right now, they just stare at the floor, pretend they heard nothing, or shoot. Desperate looks at Chester, praying. He steps in to help. Serena is super blunt, but she makes a point. Flynn's self-driving system truly is a product way ahead of its time. He is an incredible young genius, and I really want him here. Marco, any luck reaching him? Chester shifts focus, turning right to Marco. Marco blinks fast, checks his screen, and looks totally at a loss for words. Sir, messaged the Tiger Sharks platform. Got Flynn's official number through official channels. Called and texted him from our recruitment center's official line, but there is absolutely zero reply. Chester sets it aside for now. Meanwhile, Serena shoots Marco a super sharp look. She totally caught that tiny hint of sneaky provocation in his voice. Serena missed absolutely nothing. All right, let us wait for Flynn. I bet if he loves real research, he will not pass up this huge opportunity. Now then, let's start the real agenda, Chester announces very deliberately. Everyone instantly sits up straight, suddenly realizing that all the previous stuff was not even the real point of this big meeting. Under their heavy stares, Chester grabs chalk and writes boldly, "Breakthrough points for strategic aircraft defense capability," right across the giant black board. While Chester leads Serena and the nation's elite researchers into this huge talk over at the Swift Sen Tower in Shen City. That is where we leave it. The biggest delivery CEO is wrestling an epic headache. Victor, are we seriously still pushing ahead with this project? All 6 previous tests completely bombed. Stick with me here. The assistant looks totally pained, wondering just how much more cash they will burn if they keep this madness up. Since early last year, Swift Send was desperate to speed up deliveries, launching an incredibly ambitious drone delivery network. To pull this off, Swift Send hired massive teams of elite researchers, dumping over $1 billion into the investment. But after all the hype they threw out into public, openly promising an ultimate drone with insane range, massive carrying capacity, perfect stability, nationwide reach, and next-level same-day delivery speeds for absolutely everyone, the marketing pitch sounded amazing. But the results? 6 straight tests, 6 complete failures. The flight range was awful, the payload was weak, or if both actually worked, the stability was pure garbage. Basically, over the past year and change, SwiftSend torched an insane amount of cash and destroyed more prototype drones than anyone can actually count. Now, Victor and SwiftSend are completely trapped. Quitting means wasting all that money, and Victor proudly stands as a man of his word. He made those big promises, Backing out quietly now would completely ruin Swift, Send, and completely destroy Victor's reputation. After some serious thought, Victor clenches his jaw, completely determined to finish this, no matter the cost. The assistant beside him almost collapses in pure shock. Victor, you really need to rethink this. Swift Send makes good profit, but we cannot sustain this. Liam, hold on, be quiet. Victor raises his hand, cutting the assistant off before he finishes. Liam tracks Victor's intense gaze, his throat tightening as he swallows hard. On screen, an image freezes on Ray and a car. Watch closely here. Victor, you cannot be serious. That is exactly what I am thinking. If Flynn can create a game-changing electric vehicle, then building a drone, hitting our crazy requirements should be easy for him. My goodness, why on earth did it take me this long? I totally should have realized this right when the Dami Group auto launch happened at North Hill Plaza. Victor aggressively slaps his thigh in sheer frustration. He quickly opens his laptop, instantly starting an order. While typing rapidly, he bursts out laughing. Liam, you fear Flynn's scammer reputation, am I right? If the guy actually finishes this drone for me, I do not care if he scams the fuel. That is literal pocket change. By the time he finishes, Victor submits the order. He leans way back in his seat, sighing deeply, like a massive burden just vanished. But Liam still stands there, his eyebrows knitted with concern. Boss, that is definitely not my main worry. Flynn is incredibly young. Judging by that viral audio from North Hill Plaza, everyone thinks he is barely 20. Making an electric vehicle like that at his age is mind-blowing. People applaud him, but even young prodigies hit limits. He is a 20-year-old kid. How could he master electric vehicles and advanced drone tech at the exact same time? Plus, the insane specifications we demand simply do not exist anywhere yet. Calling them globally unique is no exaggeration. You might be wondering the same thing: can Flynn actually pull this off? Liam frantically unloads every single doubt. Victor stays totally silent for a moment, simply staring out the window into the bright blue sky. Liam, I'm putting my absolute faith in Flynn's potential. Liam freezes, speechless. He finally calms his nerves down. Victor, you could be right, but will Flynn even take the job? Honestly, the massive amount of customers throwing orders at him right now must be staggering. Hearing those words, Victor dismissively waves his hand. Not worried at all. I checked. The highest order on his shop currently is 20 million. I offered him 1.2 billion. You literally told me Flynn loves cash, correct? He will absolutely grab my offer, Victor declares, with supreme confidence. Okay, that definitely tracks. Wait, how much? 1.2 billion. Boss, did you accidentally add another zero, turning 12 million into over a billion? As the shock fully hits him, Liam practically loses it. We are ordering a tiny drone, not a commercial plane. Research costs are steep, but actual production maxes out at a few dozen million tops. 1.2 billion pays for a whole passenger plane, and Liam definitely knows Flynn's strict rule: no patents ever. However, Liam sees this deal. It feels completely like daylight robbery. Relax, Liam, stop overthinking this. Cash is literally meant for spending. As long as Flynn delivers the goods, nothing else actually matters. One drone cannot run a whole network, but once Flynn proves it works perfectly, we just buy more inventory directly from his hands. Any hurdle cash can clear is not a hurdle. Victor smirks, fully radiating absolute big money energy. Liam just nods with an intensely twitching eye, genuinely believing they should immediately track down my home address. Maybe post guards outside my door so I cannot escape. So what do you and I think? The internet swears this scammer might take the billion and just vanish tomorrow. Liam figures a massive $1 billion offer is tempting enough. Stick with me here. My workshop stream has been locked at the #1 homepage spot ever since. Countless fans rush in, desperate to see exactly how insane my massive order board has truly become. Then Victor drops his massive request out of nowhere, firmly claiming the #1 spot by value, and the millions of viewers in my chat are completely and utterly stunned. Am I seeing this right? 1.2 billion. Swift just dropped a massive request with Flynn. Victor went crazy. 1.2 billion in cash. Not game tokens. Stop right there. I could never earn that much money in an entire lifetime. The chat explodes into heated debate, their wild curiosity skyrocketing. Everyone desperately wants to know what Victor actually paid me to build. It doesn't take long before internet detectives dig up major clues. Someone figured it out. Wait, a drone? Victor seriously ordered Flynn to build a drone? Wait, a drone? Like the exact drone I am picturing? What drone costs 1.2 billion? Bro, you're way behind the times. SwiftSend promised forever ago they would make epic delivery drones capable of carrying a massive 1 ton anywhere in the country, but they have made absolutely zero progress. They probably failed hard. My best guess is that Victor completely ran out of options and finally came to Flynn. Victor, what are you thinking? Even the greatest drone isn't worth 1.2 billion. Whatever. It is not our cash anyway. If Flynn somehow succeeds, I will only use SwiftSend for all my packages. Same here. I cannot afford those wild Flynn computers or bikes, but maybe I can experience a custom Flynn delivery drone. Now watch this. When the drone news drops, millions of viewers completely lose their minds. Incredibly, within just 30 minutes of this news leaking, SwiftSend stock actually skyrockets. Meanwhile, way up inside the chairman office at SwiftSend headquarters, Liam is sitting there looking completely stunned. A full 10 seconds go by before he finally recovers, shooting Victor a huge, confident grin. Victor totally underestimated this guy's massive influence. Following the stunning success of the DMI Group auto launch, Flynn is basically a legend now. Seriously, the 1.2 billion you spent will completely pay for itself in no time. Liam just shakes his head in total disbelief. But Victor, staring intensely at his screen, suddenly looks incredibly worried. Liam, why hasn't Flynn accepted my request yet? Is my massive offer somehow still not high enough? Their stock is rising fast, and Victor is hyped. But if Flynn rejects it, this whole brilliant plan crumbles into nothing. Absolutely doomed. Victor, I honestly doubt it is the price tag. Your offer is already beyond incredibly generous. Maybe Flynn is just busy handling something else right now. Liam tries his absolute best to calm him down, but instantly, Victor shoots up from his seat like a rocket. That sudden explosion of energy practically gives poor Liam a real heart attack. Seeing the always calm Victor freaking out, Liam leans in. Victor, did he accept it? No. I totally panicked and checked my specific order details again. This is bad. The drone specs I sent Flynn are completely wrong. The flight range and the payload capacity. I accidentally added an extra 0 to both of them. It must have happened when you were talking to me while I was submitting the order. I was totally distracted. No wonder Flynn rejected it. A 10,000 kilometer flight range and a 10-ton payload. How could anyone possibly build a machine like that? Let me find out how to cancel this and submit another one. Victor mutters with a forced smile, desperately scrolling around looking for that cancel button. But right at that exact moment, a system alert pops up. Your Tiger Shark platform order has been accepted by the owner. Let that sink in. Staring at that accepted message, Victor's face goes totally blank. He rubs his eyes, making sure he isn't dreaming, and a gasp of pure shock escapes his throat. Liam, tell me I am not crazy. An order with these specs. This is absolutely insane. Flynn actually accepted my impossible request. Meanwhile, back in downtown Metro City, I am chilling on my apartment balcony, enjoying the warm afternoon sun. I glance back at the impossible order I just accepted and confidently mutter to myself, now this is much more like it. Victor understands quality. This is how it should be. A true challenge, amazing money, and actual motivation to build. I stand up from my chair, stretch lazily, and decide to head straight back to my workshop to tackle Victor's wild order. After hitting 10 million points, my system officially unlocked Phase 3, military-grade manufacturing. Before unlocking this epic skill, finishing Victor's crazy drone request would be completely impossible. But now, I actually think I can pull this off. And it is not just the wild challenge that excites me. The massive payout is super satisfying. When Phase 3 unlocked, the system also revealed the phase for upgrade requirement. 1 billion points for something called conceptual military manufacturing. Honestly, those 4 epic words make me feel incredibly hyped. So between you and me, I have no clue what conceptual military means, but it screams elite. Let's dive back into this wild ride. 1 billion points? Absolutely. But wait, putting Victor's massive order aside briefly, he checks his phone and finds 2 missed calls and a text. They are from Marco at the Military Research and Development Base. He ignores the calls completely. He reads the message, but replying is just not happening. He wouldn't even know how to answer. Whatever, just ignore it. He has totally zero interest in joining any military research facility. Muttering to himself, he drags the messages and calls right into the trash. It is not about refusing to help his country. He just literally cannot afford it right now. The system demands increasingly massive points for every single upgrade, which simply means he has to make insane amounts of cash. Earning real money inside a strict base would be nearly impossible. And without cash, how could his system ever level up? Plus, there is another major issue. Life inside a strict military base would never offer the awesome freedom he has now. They could hand him boring projects that lack any real challenge. All those strict limits completely rule out joining their team. So, he heads back to his awesome workshop on the outskirts. Totally hyped to tackle Swift Send's massive drone order. Meanwhile, at Swift Send headquarters, Victor and Liam just stare at each other in total silence before their intense shock finally fades. But deep in their eyes, pure disbelief still lingers. Victor actually slapped himself. This moment just does not feel real. Watch this insane gap. They struggle making a 1,000-kilometer drone carrying 1 ton, but Flynn just casually accepted 10,000 kilometers and 10 tons. Are they dreaming? The main reason Liam is around is just because Victor spends money like absolute crazy. The board of directors, constantly terrified by Victor's wild spending, assigned him Liam, the cheapest assistant money could ever buy. But now, facing a 1.2 billion deal, Liam actually thinks it is brilliant. Totally worth it. If Flynn actually creates that legendary drone, Swift Send will not just rule the entire domestic delivery market. Even on a massive global scale, 0 rivals could compete. Shipping a package in the morning and arriving by afternoon. Who could ever beat that? Liam wonders, does Swift Send actually have a shot? Liam admits he suddenly wants to go back for a master's or a doctorate. Victor completely agrees. The old saying claims knowledge is absolute power. Nothing in this world beats raw brain power. Liam honestly thought that idea was super outdated. But Flynn just proved the incredible magic and unstoppable force of pure knowledge. He speaks from the heart, his face totally glowing with rare, hopeful wonder. Victor chuckles. Let's not get all sentimental right now. Millions of researchers exist globally, but someone with Flynn's raw talent and fearless attitude. Only one. Long Kingdom has really been missing a genius this blindingly bright. You feel it too, right? He is a guiding light for countless lost young people today. Victor pauses. Plus, there is one more thing he left unsaid. Next to a genius like Flynn, wealthy billionaires like him and Ray suddenly look pretty basic, right? Victor jokes with a massive grin. His mood is absolutely soaring right now. His hype for the upcoming drone delivery is completely off the charts. Hearing this, Liam wisely decides to stay entirely silent. He stammers for 2 seconds, then rapidly pivots to a completely different subject. He asks if Victor gave Flynn a strict deadline for the order. Should they release a massive hype announcement ahead of time? The internet already knows about the drone order anyway. 0 point in hiding it now. Plus, Ray already gave them the perfect marketing playbook. Dropping an announcement 3 days early at North Hill Plaza turned Dummy Auto into an absolute overnight legend. They could seriously learn some epic marketing tricks from Ray. Hearing this genius idea, Victor pauses to consider it. Then he nods. Liam actually makes perfect sense. Yes, they are dropping a massive announcement. He never gave Flynn a strict deadline, but considering his absolutely insane speed on previous projects, Victor expects delivery in 1 week tops. So, they will make it official right now. Exactly 1 week from now, Shen City will host the epic drone launch event. Let us see if Ray's car event or their drone reveal breaks the internet harder. Even a seasoned veteran like Victor simply cannot hide his massive excitement anymore. Naturally, Liam is incredibly fired up. He promises to handle it immediately. Giving a firm nod, Liam quickly strides right out of the big office. Liam works at lightning speed. Within 10 minutes, a huge announcement goes completely live on SwiftSend's official website and all their social media channels. The epic post states that in exactly 7 days at Haihu Park, SwiftSend Group will host its incredible drone launch event. Stay tuned. Short and punchy, but it drops like a massive boulder into a quiet lake, sending absolute shockwaves across the entire internet. Comments explode. They knew it. Definitely a drone. Victor asked Flynn to build one. People literally cannot keep up. This is pure madness. One guy complains he already skipped work for the auto launch, and now he has to take another sick day. He jokes his cheap boss will definitely fire him. Someone replies to just watch it openly, because the boss will totally be watching too. That is where we leave it. The boss will be totally distracted. Truly the smartest workplace advice on the whole internet today. Trust me, watching these launches with you feels exactly like binging a wild reality show. Comments blow past 10,000 in literally a few minutes. Everyone is completely buzzing with wild anticipation for SwiftSend's epic drone launch in 7 days. But meanwhile, on the other side, inside the 1st District R&D base, Chester meets Serena. Total silence. A professor sighs, saying this is literally impossible, guys. Completely impossible. Strategic aircraft currently serve 2 key jobs right now: tactical bombing and supply drops. For bombing, completely guaranteeing our pilots return safely means we actually have to start by completely upgrading that aircraft's outer shell. But honestly, even Serena's newly developed TS ultra hard alloy simply cannot survive a direct, heavy missile hit. On the ground, tanks might casually shrug off 2 missiles, but up in the air, even the tiniest little malfunction is totally fatal. As for supply drops, even though they land in friendly zones with much lower risk, we still cannot guarantee 100% safety. So honestly, this entire topic feels like a total joke, completely unachievable. Inside that dead, silent room, Marco finally stands up. Chester just waves his hand, forcing Marco back into his seat, then scans the entire area. 40 to 50 of the absolute best military minds here, and nobody offers anything. Stuart and the other guys just stare blankly at each other. Total silence. Meanwhile, inside my super lab, which is now fully military grade, I have free access to absolutely every piece of top-tier military manufacturing equipment imaginable. I can literally buy any military-grade material out there. Only problem? Some of these crazy prices make me totally dizzy. So many zeros, I literally cannot even look at them. You and I know definitely wasn't joking about being a little short on cash. During manufacturing, the system's absolute golden rule is super simple. The more cash I save, the more points I actually earn. But someday I really want to build something epic for myself. When that day arrives, I will need the absolute best materials, and my current funds will completely flop. One epic project means total bankruptcy again. Everyone out there literally calls me the ultimate scammer. It is literally tagged right on my shop page. But honestly, I feel incredibly broke right now. Muttering to myself, I finally open the Super Lab's massive materials vault. After seriously browsing and comparing everything for hours, I finally gather exactly what this epic drone needs. This time around, picking materials takes way longer than usual, but I have zero choice. Military materials are wildly expensive. I've been hunting for cheaper, solid substitutes this entire time. Thankfully, that hard work completely pays off. A crazy multi-million-dollar budget magically gets squeezed all the way down to under $2 million. Total cost after bundling everything? 1.8 million paid to the system. If Victor ever saw this tiny number, he would absolutely faint. He literally gave me 1.2 billion. 1.2 billion, and I only spent 1.8 million. Victor has zero clue right now, but he probably will find out soon enough. Before entering the lab, I noticed that system was still busy generating a periodic financial report. I bet you're thinking exactly the same thing. The system will just publish it immediately, without even letting me preview a single thing first. Zero chance to edit a single number. Muttering to myself, I realize I definitely need to hire some bodyguards or seriously upgrade this workshop with massive defensive walls. Otherwise, I will honestly never feel safe. Materials selected. I mentally review my build process one more time. For a super basic regular drone, I wouldn't even need a full day. I could easily crank out a dozen. But building a drone with the 10,000-kilometer range, 10-ton payload, plus absolute extreme stability? Not gonna lie, this completely crushes the epic difficulty of building Ray's electric vehicle. That car's only real challenge was the autonomous driving system. Everything else was relatively straightforward. But Victor's drone has sky-high technical barriers at every single stage. Back at base, Stuart and the others are still staring blankly at each other. Zero ideas left. To actually understand this super intense meeting's real agenda, we have to jump exactly 3 days back. 3 days ago, Long Kingdom and Bear Nation secretly ran an epic modern aerial exercise. Ever since fighter jets first arrived, air supremacy became the ultimate key to winning massive wars. Every single nation takes aerial combat capability extremely seriously. Recently, Long Kingdom spared absolutely no expense, pouring staggering amounts of funding and manpower into completely maxing out their powerful air force. For this massive drill, Long Kingdom deployed 100 elite fighters alongside entire divisions of epic strategic aircraft. Bear Nation sent just 10. The military brass thought they were joking. Now watch closely, because Bear Nation just taught Long Kingdom an absolutely brutal lesson. 100 fighters easily crushed those 10, taking out their command base. But wait, this also meant all 100 of Long Kingdom's aircraft were totally exposed. And Bear Nation? In a wild last stand, the falling base fired every single anti-air missile they had, taking out 98% of Long Kingdom's fighters. Just 2% managed to limp back home. You and I know Long Kingdom won on paper, but stick with me, because trading 100 jets for one base is absolute disaster. In a real war, that's a crushing defeat. So right after the drill, Long Kingdom's top brass called an emergency meeting to figure out why this mock battle ended in total ruin. After 8 long hours of shouting, they finally hit a conclusion. The bombers have zero defense. Once they cross enemy lines, losing half the fleet becomes totally unavoidable. Kill 1,000, lose 800? The real tragedy isn't the jets, but the pilots. Every single pilot is one in a million, trained intensely over many hard years. Losing just one hurts, let alone an entire squad wiped out. That's why headquarters slammed Chester with an urgent order. Lead the base's top scientists and fix this pilot safety crisis in exactly 1 week. It's already day 2. Professor, really think this issue isn't just for us to solve. Every country struggles with this exact same thing. So please, try not to panic. Honestly, short term, this safety glitch is totally unfixable. Even if the bosses punished us all, this problem would stay exactly the same. Watch closely now, the room goes totally silent. Marco stands up to speak, but he really shouldn't have. Chester's mustache literally twitches with rage. You think I need you saying that? Give it time, give it time. Every time we hit a wall in research. Is this your lazy mindset? If time fixes everything, why do I even pay you? If every other nation gives up, how does Long Kingdom stay ahead of the pack? Headquarters wants us to crack it first. You have 2 days. 2 days. If you can't draft a basic concept by then, I'm seriously taking Serena up on her wild idea. I'll lock you all in solitary to actually work. Chester slams his fist down, face dark with rage, and storms right out the door. leaving Stuart and Marco, and everyone else just staring in pure shock. After a tense second, Marco slowly turns to Serena, wearing a desperate little grin. Doctor, Serena, you always have the craziest ideas. Could you please throw us a lifeline here? The boss isn't joking around. Everyone snaps their heads towards Serena at the front, faces packed with absolute, desperate hope. Most of these guys got here way after Serena became head advisor. Almost nobody in here actually studied alongside her. We all know the stories about her godlike skills, right? Her old class runs top military labs nationwide. Among those geniuses, Serena is still the absolute best of the best. If she didn't love the quiet life here, rival districts would have poached her ages ago to run their entire tech operation. Oh, so now I'm Serena. Weren't you just running to the professor to snitch on me? Like you said, I'm just an advisor. If he locks you in solitary, that has zero to do with me. Good luck. Serena shoots them a freezing glare, then just stands up and walks right out of the room, leaving everyone completely dumbfounded. The group left behind feels their hearts smash straight into rock bottom. Game over. She isn't helping. Nobody's coming to save us. Let's just focus. We have 2 days to give him a decent pitch. Even terrible ideas are better than absolutely nothing right now. He's furious because we sat like statues when asked. Stuart sighs heavily and shakes his head. The others trade helpless looks and nod silently. Time slips away fast. 2 days vanish instantly while Stuart and the genius researchers stress out over the jet defense glitch. Meanwhile, at my Metro City workshop, I've been grinding inside the super lab for what feels like an eternity. Building this drone is brutal. Without the lab's twisted time warp, I'd have totally lost my mind. But hard work pays off big. After 3 long months, I've finally finished the exact drone Victor ordered. 10,000 kilometer range, 10-ton payload, crazy stability, an absolute next-generation masterpiece. Looking at it, I crack a huge smile. Ding! System now evaluating the experiment. After deep analysis, the player's drone crafting just scored a perfect 100. Bonus 10 intelligence. Bonus 10 million upgrade points. The system. Voice drops alert after alert. I wasn't paying attention, but trust me, those last 2 lines change everything. Let's dive in. He completely freezes right at the door. 10 million upgrade points from the system? Honestly, that is whatever. The system is always super cheap, compared to the 1 billion points needed for Phase 4. 10 million feels like absolute pocket change tossed his way. But 10 intelligence points? His throat tightens up. Pure adrenaline starts instantly surging. Basically, those 10 intelligence points translate directly to 10 actual IQ points. A normal everyday person with an IQ of 100 is totally average. Hitting an IQ of 110 means absolute genius, meaning the system can instantly turn a basic mind into an absolute masterpiece. And for our main character, the final result is going to be incredibly insane. Watch closely here. His natural talent and pure instincts for research are already what we would call top tier. They say Albert Einstein hit an IQ of 160. Before this, matching that genius seemed completely impossible. But absorbing 10 extra intelligence points? He knows that even if Einstein came back today, he could totally match him in pure, raw brain power. Clearly, this wild system has many more hidden features left to be discovered. Just boosting raw intelligence is already terrifyingly overpowered. He takes a huge breath, desperately forcing down all that intense excitement rushing through his entire body. Trust me, we are witnessing history. He grabs his masterpiece and exits the super lab,